Hi, my name is Lance, and I'm a Matt Wilkins fan. Doc, greetings. What's up, Ethan? Another night of streaming. Trying to get some more people here. Doc, greetings. I should be a voice actor. I'd be good at it. Trying to get more people to join. We'll see if they join or not.
Okay. So as soon as you know tomorrow, then you'll get the continue and we'll set a date or which date we're gonna come up with.
Still just one person.
Really?
Alright. They're gone. My family's loud. Anyway, got any questions, comments, concerns? I think the biggest concern here is I am a Matt Wilkins fan. So I don't know why other people are not joining. It's very unusual. Ethan, you got any questions? EU questions? Anything related? Scott is here, the man himself. Scott Johnson, fellow Catholic, fellow EU fan, fellow Matt Wilkins fan. I wonder how Matt feels about all this. I mean, we practically worship the guy. I'm very curious. Which favorite EU planet? Ooh, that's a good one. Corman, Tython, Zenoma Sakat. I guess those are the top. I guess those are my three. Yeah. I guess Tython. I think Tython. Yeah. I'd say Tython. I don't think he gives us a second thought. No, his streams revolve around Matt as well. Okay, fair enough. Well, Matt's a big reason why a lot of us are even doing this. So a lot of us talk about the EU still because of Matt. We started talking about the EU because of Matt. Um, so I mean, he's kind of the leader of this whole thing. Him and I would say they're all the kind of the leaders of this whole thing. Matt loves attention, otherwise he wouldn't have a YouTube channel. That's fair.
You're gonna get her in trouble. You're gonna get her in trouble.
That's completely fair. Still trying to get more people in. I have a group chat on Instagram with a whole bunch of people. Marcel is in it. Sheev is in it. Max is in it. Alex is in it. Matt and Twin Sons Foundation. I think Twin Sons Foundation definitely are probably this. I think Matt's. I don't know. Matt's kind of like the de facto leader, but Twin Sons. I mean, if there's any. I mean, if we're ever to get the EU continued, they're going to be the ones that are responsible for it because they know Lucasfilm. They're things in conventions, things like that, by Lucasfilm. So I think Twin Sons is definitely going to be big, kind of responsible for that. But that won't happen anytime soon. Someone invoked my name and I been someone. I think it was me. I'm too much of a boomer to use Instagram. I'm looking if I can get a microphone working. It's okay, Scott. I'll get there one day. By then we'll have, I don't know, holographic iPhones. And I'm going to be like, how do you use this? So I'll get there soon. I was just watching Cobra Kai, man. You did a really great job this season. I hate y'all. I don't even know. I mean, I take it as a compliment. I mean, he's not bad looking. So that, whatever hell his name is. Twin Sons gets donations so they can put money toward more. Yeah. So I think Twin Sons does a great job. I wish they would donate EU books to my school. Because we have a couple. We actually have The Last Command in hardback. We don't have the other two books, but we have Last Command. We have a lot of the classics. But beyond that, I mean, we don't have a whole bunch of EU stuff. With no EU comics, which is a big shit. No comics in general. From Star Wars, so I'm actually too young to be a boomer, though. Matt's not. Actually, Matt is too young as well. Boomers are like in their 60s and 70s, so. More, I guess, their 70s. Matt's not that old yet. And yes, I do live in Texas, and I am not watching the Cowboy game. So, just in case y'all were wondering. I wish some other people would join. I really want to start because I think he's a really good Instagrammer. He's a Star Wars archivist. He's on Instagram. He has like 36,000 followers, and all he does is post EU stuff. So, great guy. Matt's as old as Star Wars is. I think I'm too. Okay. Yeah, you're not a boomer. You're not a boomer. I mean, Matt, for being in his 40s, I mean, he looks really good. So it's interesting. See, I love doing this because what I love doing so much about actually finding a lot more younger EU fans like myself and kind of bringing them into the fandom. Because that never happened. I mean, yeah, I never saw a whole bunch of younger people before in the movement, but I kind of feel like I've brought more people into the movement, um, which I love. I love that. Because sometimes I worry, is the EU dying? Is it dead? But no, I think I'm living proof of that. I think Alex is proof of that. I think Iron Inquisitor is proof of that. So many of us, that we never really got to see the EU in its golden age. We love the EU. We've kind of rejected Disney Star Wars and embraced the EU. So if you're an older EU fan out there and you're like, do younger people still read this? Yes, we do. We read it. A lot of us are starting to read it for the first time, years after the decanonization, and we love it just as much as you guys do. What's up, Strax? What the? Come on. Thank you. Good train both my kids to be EU fans. Hope they don't turn out like Cadis. Yeah, indoctrinate your kids to love the EU. That's good life advice with Lance. Indoctrinate your children to love the original Thrawn, not the Disney canon Filoni Thrawn, the Filonified Thrawn. That's a new word, Filonified. I cannot wait until this new Filoni stuff comes out because, oh my lord, I cannot wait to roast it. Because it's going to be bad. In fact, they're already contradicting stuff. So, I mean, the sixth brother looks completely different in the comics than he does in Tales of the Jedi. Younger fans, or at least the novels. I guess they are reprinted the comics as well, so I don't think that'll be a problem. I mean, shoot. I mean, you guys see that? I mean, it looks pretty accessible, I would say. I mean, yeah. I even have Young Jedi Knights and Junior Jedi Knights down there, so I think we're still good. There you go. There you go. Is there anything in Disney canon besides Last Jedi, like the High Republic? I think the High Republic is the best thing Disney canon has done. And even then, I can't really say I like The Last Jedi. I'm pretty indifferent to it now. I don't hate it, but I don't like it. Hopefully it stays in print. I think it will. And I say that because, I mean, even the Legends books with, just the normal Legends books with the Legends banner, those have been selling for years now. I mean, they've never stopped printing those because they sell, right? And if Scott, you need some more reassurance. The new Epic collections that Marvel's been coming out with, they've they run out. I mean, they sell like hotcakes. For example, the Dark Empire Epic collection that released last year, I think, and it's already selling for in the hundreds. It's already out of print. The Epic collections are selling. They're selling like hotcakes, and Dark Empire, hell, that comic's been out for years now. Years, not almost. It's been 3 decades. It's been out, and that's just a reprint. That's an Epic collection, and it's selling. What's up, Jay? Anybody hopping on stream? I don't know. I don't know how long I'll keep this stream. Not long. So, I don't know. The sequels and Last Jedi are not bad movies, but they're not very good. I don't know if I agree with that. I think The Last Jedi, there's a lot of good Star Wars storytelling in there. But I don't know. Epic collections are great. I'm glad they're selling well. I'm picking them up, even though I already have. See, there you go. And I picked up the Epic collection because I'd never read Dark Empire before, and I wanted to read it for the first time. I want to see what the hype was all about. I'd actually been waiting for the Epic collection. I think I pre-ordered it actually. I'm glad I have it because I wouldn't have gotten those comics in print any other way. I like Rogue One and the other new films. I think Rogue One has a lot of good stuff in it. I feel like the characters are just so forgettable. Like, for example, Chirrut Imwe. I can say that name all day. A lot of people don't even know who that is. It's the Asian guy with the staff. I guess there's two Asian guys. It's Chirrut Imwe and then Baze Malbus. They're both Asian. Baze Malbus is the guy with the heavy repeater. So that's my problem with that movie is so many of the characters are just forgettable. And a lot of the reason why people love that movie is the third act, which the third act is great. It's just if your first two acts out of three are bad or boring, then that means most of the movie's bad. And I'm not saying you're saying this, Scott. Don't get me wrong. This is really just the fandom in general. And if you like the other stuff, that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. And I think, where was I going with that? So, I mean, with so many titles nowadays, I mean, a lot of Filoni stuff, I think this is a great example. It'll start off badly, and then people are like, well, just wait till the end, and then the last episode's good, and it's like, okay, but the rest of the episodes are still crap, you know? It's like shows shouldn't have a crap beginning and middle just so they can have a good ending. That's not how storytelling should work. And so, I mean, I get sometimes you need to get stories need time to unravel, but they shouldn't be bad when they unravel. It shouldn't be boring. It shouldn't be uninteresting. It shouldn't be, you shouldn't feel like you don't care. And the Bad Batch was the same way. I mean, there's this one Instagram account I follow. I'm not going to mention his name, but every single freaking Filoni show that comes out, he says the same thing. Oh, you just got to wait till the end. And it's like, why should I have to wait till the end for it to get good? You know, it should be already good. But it's like if you read a book, if the first couple chapters are just boring and bad, you're not going to read the rest of it. So it's like, okay, oh, there's going to be a good ending at the end of the book. It's like, but I don't care about the book to begin with because it has such a bad opening. But that's just my opinion. Filoni has a bad problem with doing that. Filoni is so much better at small story arcs. And I think that's why the Clone Wars is probably his best thing, because a lot of those smaller story arcs, like the 2 to 4 episode story arcs, they have good pacing a lot of the time. The storytelling can be whatever. A lot of times it's a lot better, I will say that, than his other stuff. But he's just not good at, with the Bad Batch, that's obviously one long story arc. The whole season is basically just one story arc. And it's just not good. He's not good at doing that. He is so much better at creating something like the Clone Wars, where it's these shorter story arcs, these shorter stories that are, within a larger tale. And that's why I think Tales of the Jedi, now, I don't think it's going to be good, but I think it'll be better than the Bad Batch and, maybe some of his other stuff. And Rebels was very similar to the Clone Wars, at least in the way it's structured. So, yeah. But yeah, Filoni, he has his strengths. I mean, I've always said I'm a big fan of that Mortis arc. I love the Mortis arc, mainly because of how it ties into the EU. But even on its own, it's still really interesting to me. I love lore like that. I'm big into the Force and learning about it, and I thought that was really cool. It really added to that. The newspaper strips epic collection. Oh, okay. Hard to get this. Yeah, I'm glad they're reprinting the comic strips. Solo isn't terrible, but isn't great. Didn't like how they did Lando. I didn't mind Lando. Didn't mind him. Honestly, I think Solo's a better movie than Rogue One. If I'm quite honest with you, it's at least consistent and quality throughout the whole thing.
But I figured out.
Season 3 of Tartakovsky's Clone Wars. There you go. Jedi Academy trilogy?
It's very no.
They're still yelling.
Bacteria.
I told them to be quiet, and they're still doing it.
No, that is
They finally went downstairs. Oh my gosh. Just kill me now. Anyway. Yeah, that's exactly right, Jay. Yeah, you can go and do that.
You can help me with that. Okay, well, for the next couple of weeks, just help me out.
Okay.
You're the one that asked if I needed help. And then I say I do, and you no.
Gosh, my family hates each other. That's a good idea. Think that'd be great. I mean, he is. the Shakespeare. Shakespeare, he was around during the Renaissance. Well, I guess he was. Well, I don't know. But yeah. He's the Leonardo da Vinci. If he was around during the Renaissance. Michelangelo, no, he was around during the Renaissance. Michelangelo, the E movement. Matt Alangelo. There you go. Matt Alangelo. Put Matt or Yoda in every painting. Where's Cody? I don't know where he's at. Oh, the Renaissance. That. God, I meant. Oh, ew. Ew. I have the Vader Dark Visions trade from New Canon. That's going to play controllers now for some reason. I don't really care about it. I would watch that, Scott. You could take scissors and just. And then sell the pieces. Well, my family needs to go to bed because I'd like to bring some people on the stream. I think I'm just going to put the stream yard link in chat. Whoever wants to join can join. Is Dark Visions the one where he chokes on her pillows? You know what I don't like? It's when he just killed that. It's like he murdered a random woman, like a woman from, like it looked like a woman from the real world. In fact, I'm gonna look it up. Vader kills woman. Comic. This right here. I mean, that just looks like. Let me share my. Let me share this my screen real quick. Okay. This thing right here. I mean, why is this lady in Star Wars? She looks like a normal woman from the real world. What is she doing in Star Wars? Bring you commando. That's cool too. I don't know if he knows about my Instagram. He doesn't follow me on Instagram, so he may not know. I'd love to have EU Commando on though. Yeah, the Love is Dark Visions. Yeah, that's a new canon comic actually. I think. I think that was in the Darth Vader comics. Oh, but the Darth Vader comics are so good. Yeah, I bet they are. At least the new ones. I don't know if anyone's going to join. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, really? I didn't know that. I don't know if she'll want me saying this, but she's actually invited me to one of her streams. I'll be on, I think it's EU chat, and we'll do something. She's invited me on, so I'll be on her stream coming up. So y'all look out for that. We're just basically talk about. Well, actually, I'm not telling you what we're going to talk about, but she's invited me, and it was really cool for her to have invited me to one of her streams. And just talking EU, that would make sense. There's some Disney stuff that ain't bad. I had Candace some stuff, sacrilege, I know. I mean, you can headcanon whatever you want, but a lot of times, just like people will say, "Oh, they should bring back Legends, but keep Rogue One and keep this to keep that." And it's like, Rogue One contradicts the EU. Book of Boba Fett contradicts the EU. The Mandalorian contradicts the EU. The sequels contradict the EU. I mean, every single new canon product, or at least show, contradicts the EU in some capacity. Because they're not the same continuity, so stop trying to mix them. Coffee chat. I don't. Was it coffee chat? She invited me. I probably should know this, but it's coming up soon. I think I'm gonna look at the date. I need to get ready for that, actually. Yeah, it's actually coming up within the next couple of weeks. EU Commando is a Twitter account. He talks about EU stuff. He's really big on Twitter. That's kind of where he's at. He's a that's obviously where OG knows him because she's active on Twitter. But yeah, he's a big EU fan. Defends the EU, so loves the EU. Well, that's because George Lucas had the rights to contradict whatever he wanted. So, and really the only thing that's contradicted, I'd say, is Boba Fett's backstory. That's it. And that is easily retconned. Now, for you, what about the Age of the Republic? No, he didn't contradict the EU. He contradicted the original trilogy with that. Because we got the Age of the Republic from the original trilogy. So, Lucas contradicted himself there. There used to be a few groups that mixed canon talk about how that would work. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't work. It just can't. Because they're not the same universe. They're different continuities. I mean, I get why people want to do that. That way they can get new stories. But that's not gonna work. And I don't want stories to be mixed. You think I really want a lot of the new stuff in the same universe as the EU? Absolutely not. Especially if it's something from Filoni. But yeah. That's about the only thing I would say. In fact, I'd say that there's more examples of the prequels incorporating the EU than there are contradictions. I'd argue that. Death Star contradicted too by the prequel. I guess that's true. But even then, the Death Star before then had so many backstories. It's like, and I don't even think a lot of it was inherently contradictions from one another. I feel like it was more of just adding more pieces to the puzzle, and then Death Star coming in the novel and putting all those puzzle pieces together. That's kind of how I view it. I don't really see it as contradictions, if that makes sense. Also, Coruscant has mountains in the Zahn novels. Well, Coruscant's a big world. In the new canon, it has mountains. I think. Don't quote me on that. The EU adjusted for the prequels after the fact yeah. I mean, nowadays, the EU and the prequels fit perfectly together. And I will die on that hill. Obviously, it doesn't fit with the Clone Wars, but it does fit with the prequels perfectly after the retcons. But even then, I mean, Lucas contradicting stuff, yeah, he has that right. Whether the EU was canon or not, he always had that right, and he always would have had that right. Not because of really anything to do with the EU, but because he's the owner, and he can do whatever he wants. So, and the EU authors knew that. There's a quote that Zahn said, and so many people take it out of context. He said it shortly after he started writing his new Thrawn stuff, and he basically said that the EU wasn't official, but they forget the part where Zahn clarified what he meant by that. Zahn meant official in the sense that it wasn't there was no guarantee that the EU would always stay canon, and that's true. I mean, the EU was canon unless contradicted by the films or, a higher tier, which is that had been the rule for years. So, I mean, I don't think that quote buys on because I've been given that quote before. That quote really just proves that it was canon actually, because here's Zahn is saying, yeah, I mean, it wasn't all. He basically said it wasn't always going to stay canon, or it wasn't guaranteed that it would stay canon, and that's true. Rather reboot or not, the films could have contradicted it, and they did, a little bit, not a whole bunch, but slightly. Um, so the planet is. It's interesting. I actually have the Zahn Heir of the Empire #1. That's a reprint. That's not an original, for those who are wondering. And it does portray Coruscant as more of like a mesa biome. I do think that's interesting. Now, obviously, I mean, that's really not that big a deal. You can easily, that's just the artwork of a comic adaptation of a novel. So it's not that big a deal. I mean, the scenes are the same. It's just the environment's a little different. Um, if there's any hardback for any book in the EU that you want, but it's really expensive, that goes Darth Plagueis for sure. Darth Plagueis and Kenobi. Those novels. I mean, I want to collect every single hardback and paperback. That's the goal. The goal for me is to collect every single hardback and paperback that existed in the EU. Now, of course, for some books like the Clone Wars novelization, there wasn't a hardback for that, as far as I know. And there's some other books where there wasn't a hardback. Now, you may bring up things like the Jedi Academy trilogy. Yeah, Bantam didn't come out with a hardback, but SFBC did. So, yeah. Trader, that's expensive and hardback. I guess. I mean, the SFBC books are. I don't have any of them, but they are kind of expensive. I wish they'd be. I wish. I mean, the Essential Legends collection. I wish those were hardcovers. I think I would buy those if they were hardcovers. I'd like a hardcover Shadow Games, but I'm not paying 200. Yeah. Dang, that book is that expensive. That book is kind of a forgotten book too. Kind of surprising that it's so expensive. That's the only ones I'm missing. Always thought the differences between Bantam and Coruscant and prequel Coruscant is not that big a deal since it's entire planet. Yeah, I mean, it's a planet. It's not one city, And even then, I mean, it's just the overall. We know it's a city planet. We know that the environment doesn't have to be anything. I mean, again, the movies take precedence here, and this is what I love so much about the hierarchy. Is this is another example? And be like, well, what did Coruscant look like? It looked like what it did in the films because the films took precedence. SFBC books are rare. Yeah, I've been wanting to get the Jedi Academy trilogy SFBC because I have the Thrawn trilogy in hardcover, but I'm a big Jedi Academy fan, so I really want to get those in hardcover. But again, I don't like buying hardcovers online. I just hate it because I don't know if I'm getting that dust jacket in the mail or not, and if I don't have the dust jacket, I don't want it. What's up, Blue Pig? How are you? But yeah, so in fact, all the hardcovers that you see, the very little that I have, I bought those all in a store, or they were given to me as presents, which they were bought. Like these two, Darksaber and I Jedi, were presents. Same way, I think Children of the Jedi, you can't see it; it's in between those two, but it's there. Those three were presents. I have some Fate of the Jedi books. Those were presents. Those are in hardcover. Trying to see what else was present. I guess that's it. All right, guys. I'm doing good. Excellent. I've renounced my love of the EU and accepted Filoni as my savior. That's the way to salvation.
Oh shit.
What's up,
What up?
Jay?
Hello there. It's been a minute. I feel like. I think last time I drank, it was.
Would have had you on last night, but it was 1 a.m. So.
Oh yeah. Last time
Yeah.
it was so many people, man. Was that the
And
most people you had?
I'm trying to read. In the Heir to the Empire comic, you sure? Because I have the comic. I will take it off and show you. Because it doesn't look the same. Not from what I remember. I have it freaking taped to my wall, which is probably not a good idea, but whatever. I wanted to show it off.
I'm jealous.
It's a 2007 reprint. It's not that expensive.
Oh, okay.
Now, if it was original, yes. But
Yeah.
whatever. I hate this damn thing. I put too much tape on this.
Yeah.
I could have just looked up a picture, but
My introduction to the Thrawn trilogy was I read the comics first, and then I'm now reading the books, and it's so much more different. There's more layers to it. I was like, holy shit! I noticed so many different things that the comics didn't have.
there's only 6 issues, so obviously
Right.
not everything is going to be in it.
Yeah.
We can't do that. I love the comic adaptation of this book, though.
No, me too.
Let me find the Crescent. Well, maybe
was asking-
not. Maybe not. Maybe it is the same. It's just the color scheme that I think is off.
Well, yeah. But that's not a complete contradiction from the movies.
I guess it's just the color.
But like sometimes in certain depictions of Coruscant, they will show different color schemes, especially during the Clone Wars. Like the clouds will be real like dark and stuff. You know,
Look at that
great art.
at the top there. I love that art.
Yeah, Jorah said he was trying to get the upper hand on Thrawn.
Here's another cool art piece. The Provisional Council, New Republic Provisional Council.
Yeah,
You got the New Republic logo there at the top. So that's cool.
really cool.
I love seeing
Boris Failure, man, he gets on my nerves.
best
so
Star Wars character I know, right?
yeah, he's amazing.
Well, that's this. I think this only covers the first 3 chapters, so I don't have the rest of the series. I don't feel like collecting it. I have the books.
Yeah, that's understandable.
In canon, Coruscant is the confirmed homeworld. I thought it was just a rumored homeworld. I didn't know if it was actually confirmed. Here, I'll look it up.
Humans are not native to Earth; they're native to Coruscant.
I mean, I don't really mind if they're native to Coruscant. That's actually probably the best answer anyway. Here we are. The canon Wikipedia. That's kind of weird for me to be on. Usually I'm on the other side of Wikipedia. The better side, also known as Legends.
Yeah, because the canon side of Wikipedia is so bare bones, and then you go to Legends, and it got all this information. It got this paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs and paragraphs. It's just canon Wikipedia don't hit the same, man. They don't.
Blue Pig. Was he the one who said that? Oh no, Marcel did. Here, let me show you. Says here that Coruscant is disputed but generally accepted. So it's kind of like a rumor, but most people accept it. So, yeah. And this is the canon page, if you're wondering. So. The book opens up like... What book was that? That's the only bad part of Dark Apprentice. Han and Kip go skiing on Coruscant. Well, I mean, maybe they have polar ice caps. Who knows?
Skiing on Coruscant Mountain sounds pretty fun, man. Have you skied before?
Never skied.
Same.
I live in Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can't
Yeah.
ski. That book goes up like a Bond film. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really. I thought the opening was kind of weird, but generally accepted there's more than a. Yeah, I guess, but it's still not official.
Yeah.
There's no like proof, I guess. Legends Wikipedia is decades. That's true.
Yeah.
Ski over the buildings.
Ski over the buildings. You can ski down the Jedi Temple, or the. Is it the Jedi
I mean,
Temple?
Blue Pig. Good luck building cities and buildings on a ice cap. Good luck with that. We tried it. It doesn't work because it's too cold there.
Yeah.
Especially in the. I mean, we can survive in the Arctic, but we can't survive in Antarctica. It's too cold there. Or at least we can't stay. I mean, we can spend nights there. But I mean, it just doesn't work. Hey, look, Matt Wilkins is here.
Oh, Matt. Hello there. Matt, you should join us. Everyone should join us.
They actually were on the polar ice. I didn't even know that. It's been forever since I read Dark Apprentice. Matt, or anyone else who may still want to join, there's the link. I'm probably only going to stream for 30 more minutes though, because I have school tomorrow.
Oh yeah, same.
So 30 minutes. I mean, exactly 30 minutes. It's 10:30 for me.
How many? What was the most people you had on stream?
It's probably been at like 15.
15.
I'd say 14, 15, something like that.
Woo. Crazy.
I don't even have that many subscribers. I only have like 100 something subscribers.
Yeah, I didn't even think 15 people could be on one stream. That just broke the capacity. You broke the world record.
See, this is why I love the Jedi Academy trilogy. Something simple like that. And I love how they killed Exar Kun in that trilogy. I thought it was great. People don't like it because it's too cliche. It's like, go watch Return of the Jedi and then come talk to me about cliche.
Oh, it was predictable. It was too cliche. Well, a lot of stories have cliches because they follow the same story beats because those story beats work for a story. Like a mentor dying after he teaches the student. Like that happens in anything in fiction.
Oh, my bad, Blue Pig. Did I say anything spoilery? I didn't tell you how he died, did I? I don't think I did. I said I liked it.
Jar Jar killed.
Nice, Scott. Sweet dreams.
See you, Scott. Jar Jar kills Exar Kun.
You got a question here, Jay, from the man himself.
Yes, I do like Death of Superman. Actually, I think I watched the animated movie, and I read I know a little bit about the comics. But no, I really do like that storyline though. I think it's cool. It's been redone a lot though. I got the comic and yeah, I got it signed and everything.
Hey Matt, I think I remember you talking about like the whole craze around that on a stream one time.
The Death of Superman?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Hell no. I mean, I keep forgetting that show is coming out in like a week. I mean, I don't care about it.
That's
I
understandable.
mean, I have no. I'm gonna watch it because I know y'all are gonna want to see my thoughts on it. But plus, I want to see what I'm gonna think of it. I just don't care. I mean, it looks boring. I mean, Coruscant's in it. I guess the only thing I'd be interested in is the Imperial Senate. But beyond that, I don't care.
Yeah, personally, I think I'm pretty excited because Tony Gilroy. I think he's a great filmmaker. And
I think he's a good filmmaker, but I mean, the story can be like it's gonna be like, and people are gonna act like this is the best, greatest thing ever created. It's like, oh my god.
Exactly. Yeah. All right,
There's an Instagram account I follow, and I mentioned him earlier. I'm not gonna say his name, but he's one of those edgy film bros that thinks he knows everything about film because he's read Campbell and stuff like that. It's like, and he's like Andor is going to be just peak filmmaking. It's like, no, it's not. I mean, it may look good. It does look good, okay? You kind of expect that. You should expect that with freaking Disney.
Yeah.
But is the story going to be good? Probably not.
Could be, could not be.
It may not be bad. It's just not going to be that interesting.
It's not going to be the greatest thing of all time in Star Wars and all that. No, hell no. I think Andor is an interesting character to follow because he's like, he's sort of like he does dark things for the rebellion. And I like seeing the gritty side of war. I'm like into war stuff and gritties and stuff. So I'm interested in seeing that. And I like the cast too. I like Rogue One, so this movie is this show is kind of right up my alley. So,
Blue Pig, are you talking about me? Because if so, you're right.
Who's been radicalized? You're talking about Lance?
I guess so.
They're gonna turn you into a terrorist, man.
I already am a terrorist. People act like I am. You know what I'm excited for? Oh, I'm excited for that too, for sure.
Me too.
I can't wait for the Walrus stuff, and
That's what I'm saying.
That's going to be probably the best part of that book.
Waru, man. Always gonna be.
I'm going to consider it canon. If it was never canceled, if it's still technically official, if it's still approved by Lucas, so I'm considering it canon. I don't give a crap what people say.
Isn't that dumb?
Trying to pick me up a copy.
Lance, isn't the EU dumb? Look at Waru. Isn't it so dumb, man?
Yeah.
It's so
Waru is really not that. I mean, we have sentient teddy bears in Star Wars. I mean, a meat cube is not any different.
I know, right?
I don't know why people act like that's so not Star Wars. Like, have you seen the movies? We literally have space slugs as criminals. Leaders. They lead crime syndicates. Space
they're
slugs.
gangsters. Yeah.
It's like they're literally gang leaders. We have freaking slugs as gang leaders, and you think a magic meat cube is anywhere different than that? I mean, I don't. Yeah, he's strange. That's the point. It's Star Wars.
Oh, you were talking about that dude who's a film bro. I know exactly what type of guys you're talking about. Those people who've seen like those the 6th or 7th Samurai movie and think they understand cinema. Like, shut up, bro. Like they think that a bunch of dudes sitting in a dark room. Oh,
hey, he's here.
Scare me, Jay. What are you?
I scared you.
You scared me. Whoa! I was like, what happened?
What's up, Matt? How are you?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good.
Had a kids. Had a wife.
Finally in bed.
I know. Did I lead you on here? You were like, "Oh, Jay's on here, so I got to be on here." You know.
That's exactly what it was. I was like, "Oh man, I love Jay. I got to get on."
Oh yeah.
Screw everyone from last night. I don't care about those people.
Yeah, screw them, man.
Scott already went to bed, so now I got the all clear sign.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. No, I was working on something yesterday, and I just finished it right now. So
nice.
Yeah, just trying to get it done over the weekend.
So Matt, I know you can't talk a whole bunch about supernatural encounters, but how big is Waru in that book? Is he a big character, a minor character?
He's about this big.
Oh,
maybe this big. I don't know.
You know what I meant, Matt.
Probably as big as a Buick, I would imagine.
Okay.
With the scales and everything, I would say that. Yeah.
I think that's Matt. That's Matt telling me he can't tell me.
No, I can tell. Look, let me grab this. I don't mind saying things because all I've read was a rough draft a very long time ago.
Mm-hmm.
So it could change.
I know there may or may not be a historian who flies around the galaxy with an Ewok assistant. I know that there's going to be Waru's going to be addressed. I know there's a lot of things that are going to be addressed. In fact, we're actually giving this away on the website this month and next month. We're going to, if anyone doesn't know, I don't know if Joe's updated his, maybe he did because I just emailed him last week about it. So let me see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind telling everyone. It's not a secret, but I just want to see if he updated his. No, he did not. Okay, so here's where Joe is right now. I'll go ahead and tell you. He's at 80%. He's doing his final one. It's not changing anything. It's basically just um, what's it called? Grammatical errors right now.
Right.
He's not.
editing.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not adding anything else. He's not changing anything. He's not, you know, checking his connections or researching his history. It's just grammatical, and sentence structure. And so that's an easy part. But once that's it. That's the last thing. I don't think there's going to be a read through for this, and then it's going to go to print. And I mean, when will that be? If he's 80% done now, well, it just depends because Joe has a job.
Yeah.
Right.
He has a life.
This is not his job. This is something he's doing for all of us. And he's trying to get it out at the end of the year. And yes, there's been a lot of delays, and but I don't really mind because it's Joe. I feel like Joe's doing us the favor. But it is. I mean, I don't know. I do not know. But I would say by hopefully December, that thing's going to be shipped out to the people who backed it a long time ago. It will be made free, available online instantly, probably. But hopefully as soon as November, maybe. Who knows? I don't know. But it just depends on how his pace goes. And so I talked to him about what we would need to put up there, or what someone would want to read or familiarize themselves with prior to reading this. And they told me exactly what it would be. And so we're every day, weekdays, we're making posts on the expandeduniverse.com about suggestions on what to read or what to at least get yourself familiar with. Because Joe's going to be making a lot of connections to the odd, the obscure, and the unexplained. And it's going to be fantastic for fans. Now, I will be honest, I said this, and he supposedly put this as one of his favorite quotes, but I called it the Silmarillion of Star Wars.
Nice.
Yeah, if anyone's ever read the Silmarillion, it's not epic. It's not like the Lord of the Rings. It's not like the Hobbit. It's a little bit of a slog because it's basically building the history of Middle Earth is what it is. And this one is almost like you're reading a research. You are, in a way, you're reading someone's research paper on his journey through the galaxy. And by the way, the main character is someone that you already know in the expanded universe. For West End Games fans, they will definitely know who he is. He was also in the radio dramatization of Star Wars. So, and then when that's there, there's great artwork by he's been showcasing some of the artwork. There's been 2 trailers that have come out so far. It's going to be some really, when it's all put together, it's going to look really good, and it's going to be something that fans are just I would say the hardcore fans. This is not for someone who's only read they're just getting into the EU. I would suggest you read this honestly last. I would say read it last. I mean, at least you want to read all the novels, But the thing is, though, the reason I say last, because I don't think you will know and or appreciate it as much as you will. Sindel Tatwani, yes, almost positive.
Yeah, she was in one of the trailers. I saw the trailers, and they look gorgeous.
Okay, so yeah, it's in one of the trailers. They show her and Teak and a few others. So obviously she's in there. I mean, and like I said, just start. I hate to keep plugging the website, but just watch the website. It's going to be this month, starting this month, and next month there's a big laundry list of stuff that he's going to be either mentioning or digging into. And so just to get people familiar with it, you can, like I said, these you can Wikipedia, or if you want to feel like rereading them. Now, some of them, I don't know how hard it is to find some of these. Of course, they're the UK. I'm sure, has Marvel done a reprint of the UK comic books?
They have.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, they did a few years ago. They're very expensive now.
They did? Okay. What's it called? Do you know what the new title of that is called, that omnibus?
I believe it's just the Year of Comics. I can look into it. Hold on.
Okay. Thank you. You're very quiet, by the way. I could hardly hear you.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
No,
I
no,
ne-
no,
I
it's
never-
fine.
I never met Slav.
Oh yeah, what's up,
Hold on.
Slaw? We haven't greeted you yet.
Yeah,
Dark
I'm
Knight.
new to this EU community.
Oh, that's
Oh,
great.
nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Matt and all y'all got me into it.
Oh,
I just want to say, Matt, by the way, whenever it comes to people talking about Disney canon and how some people in the EU will get very upset, I've always looked in your videos how you don't necessarily get upset. You kind of like laugh it off. That's a very good mentality to have. It's really admirable.
well, I
I
mean,
always look on the bright side of things. That's really cool.
yeah, no, and I don't mind anyone who wants to read it. I don't mind. It's not for me. I'll make my little jokes here and there. Like I can't remember whose stream it is. When they always bring it up, I make sure to have an EU book with me that I start reading while they're talking about new canon. It's an ongoing gag. I can't remember whose channel do I do that on. I can't remember. They always
I
talk
didn't
about
know
new
you
canon.
did that, Matt. That's
Well, they talk about new and old canon,
funny.
and whenever I come on, I always have a book. If anyone can remind me which channel it is, I cannot remember now for the life of me because it feels like forever since I've been
That's
on the
perfect.
channel. But it was before the twins were born. I used to guest on the channel all the time. I can't remember, but he talked about new and old, and I'd talk old, and then when he started talking about new, I'd grab my
Was it
book
Geek
and I'd
Static?
read it in front of the camera. Say what?
Was it Geek Static?
No, I love
Was
Geek
it
Static
him?
though. But how it goes is everyone. Well, a long time ago, people were saying, "Well, man, I wish you'd watch the movies and just kind of, tell us what all you hate about it." Okay, well, here's the deal. First off, that's a waste of my time.
Yeah.
I don't care
Yeah.
about it. And then secondly, could I watch them and then hate all over them? Sure, but what good is that going to do? Especially if someone who loves it.
Yeah.
I mean, I can agree to disagree. I mean, if there's a movie, I'm positive there's a movie that we've all seen that you love that I hate and vice versa. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's just it's a preference. We're arguing preferences. Like
Mhm.
Jay's favorite color is blue, mine's red. Okay, well you're wrong for this. Well, you're wrong for well, red's the best. That's just a preference.
Yeah.
And so that's how I kind of feel about this. That's why Geek Static, I love him. He'll read both. He doesn't bother me. My best friend, and here's the thing, before the internet blew up about this, about you must love the new canon to be a real Star Wars fan, or people are like, you must stay true to the EU. Anyone who reads the new canon is a traitor. Okay, before that was even talked about on the internet, when Disney bought Star Wars and they got rid of the EU. I remember I turned to Bruce, who's on my podcast, Prince of the Universe, and I said, hey, guess what? I said, I think I'm done. He went, really? I said, yeah, I'm not going to be the Star Wars guy anymore. I said, I think I just don't want to go through with this again. I think it's going to be garbage when they reset everything. He went, oh, no, dude, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. I said, okay, go ahead and read it. Now, to let you know, Bruce ain't reading it anymore. But not a single one of us said, what, you're going to read it? You traitor, Bruce, you traitor. And Bruce didn't turn to me and go, you're not going to read it? Then you're not a Star Wars fan. No one, because there's something, it's something that happens when your balls drop. It's called maturity.
Right.
It's in a lot of people. Unfortunately, when you transfer that to social media and the internet, no one's hit puberty yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a whole. So we all got to do this big argument about, you're not a fan, you're a fake fan, you're this, you're that. I mean, I use the term hardcore fans, which got a few people upset at the beginning. Oh, well, because I haven't read the EU, I'm not a hardcore fan. No, that's just how the Washington Post, New York Times, that's how they described us, was the hardcore fans. And I'm just using that. And I think, Lance, I heard you say this before, you heard me say it, that I don't care if you've only read just a couple of books. If you love the EU, you're just, as in my opinion, you're just as big as EU fan as I am. Oh,
Right.
What's that, Jay? You don't have all the comic books that I have? You don't have the collection I do? Well, you're a nice little beginner fan, but you're not on my level. No, it's not. If you enjoy the expanded universe, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter who has the biggest collection. I'm not going to be whipping out my collection anytime soon to showcase against someone else's.
That video you made, Matt, when you said that, that's what kind of, and I think I've said this before. I know I have, but that's what made me feel welcome, I guess, to the EU community. Like if you had not done that video, we wouldn't be here right now. That's kind of what I'm just
Wow.
being serious though.
No, yeah.
Because that's kind of what made me feel, because at the time, you know, I still like Disney Can and stuff like that. And I kind of felt like which nowadays, you know how I am. But
well, people used to apologize to me when they talked to me and say, okay, don't hate me, but I watched Rogue One. I'm like, okay, I don't care. I mean, did you like it? Like tonight, someone approached me and said, hey, look, I know you don't like the new Star Wars, but I really enjoyed Boba Fett. And I was like, I said, okay, that's fine. I mean, I'm glad you enjoyed it. I said that doesn't interest me, but no, it's really good. I didn't like the movies, but I really like Boba Fett. I said, all right, that's fine. I mean, you know, I didn't say, okay, you can stop talking to me now. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was gonna say.
I'm done.
No. So, I thought about it. It was a few days ago. I was thinking. I was looking at the fandom and how they argue and talk about Star Wars, and it kind of got in the way of like my view on Star Wars, my love, because I was like, it's kind of tiring. The community is like, I'm trying to describe it. The community just like, they're always fighting, and they're always just like, oh, you're not a real fan, and then the other team is playing defense. It's sort of like politics in a sense, where I'm like, this shit is getting tiring, man. I'm like, why? How the hell could you call someone, oh, you're not a fan because you don't kiss Dave Filoni's ass like I do, or you don't think the Timothy Zahn novels is the Thrawn trilogy is the end all be all, or you don't like I Jedi, you don't like I mean, I'm sorry, I'm going on a rant, but like
I can hear you. You know I don't like I Jedi, and you just go ahead, get it out, Jay, get it out.
No, I'm saying these people, it's kind of like it started hindering my enjoyment of stuff, because I'm like, I keep hearing people on the internet just going, oh, this and that and this and that. I'm like,
and here's the deal. I love to hear, and that was the one thing I remember I was worried about when I was doing my reviews and I really started getting a following. I was like, holy cow. I said, I really hope I'm not, what's it called? Giving a forced perspective on a book that no one's read, meaning Matt Wilkins said that Karen Traviss sucks. So I'm not going to read her books either. I'm with Matt on this. No, I want you to give them a try. And if you like them, great. I think you're dead wrong if you like them, but I still want you to give them a try. And a lot of people love them. And the same thing with I Jedi. I knew that was everyone's favorite. I relished in the fact of, I bashed that book a little bit harder than I probably should have in my review, but I did it because Brian Board, my buddy, knew it was coming, and I just had to go for the gut punch on that and real sour grapes on it. But to be fair, on More Civilized Age that next month, I let 3 hardcore iJedi fans come on the channel and debate me over why it was good and why it was bad. Now, I easily won 3 against 1. I'm kidding. I mean, we just battled on preference.
Right.
But but go ahead.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, I was cutting you off. But
no, you're not. Go ahead.
Yeah, like I watch a lot of movie reviewers, and people think I'm weird because, bro, why do you want to hear people talk about their preferences on movies all day? Because I think it's kind of funny, honestly.
Well, if you like the person, if you respect the reviewer, then you might go, because I'll be honest, there's a few reviewers that will convince me whether I should try something or not. There's reviewers I completely disagree with. I can only it's more board games than movies for me, but there are certain board game reviewers I want to hear their 2 cents, but at the same time, I think they just don't have a good sense, or they don't have my sense of board games, or my preference of board games. But that's all it is preference.
Yeah, preferences. Yeah.
I think that's what people have forgotten, because it's so easy to go online and bash and yell and scream, and because people love it. People love controversy, man. People love it. People love that, Matt Wilkins joins the Fandom Menace. That thing killed in views more than anything I've done recently. Why? Because, Matt's talking about the Phantom Menace, or some kind of controversial topic. And you know what? If it was any other, no, I wouldn't say any other channel. If it was certain channels, they would milk this till the cows came home. That means like there'd be a video every 2 to 3 days on the same topic, just me saying the same thing over and over again, which I get bored. That's why I stopped the defending the EU series, because I didn't have anything else to say.
Yeah.
If I have something new to say, I'll say it. But I don't.
You just gotta drop the mic and just go on. You know.
Well, you just got. Well, you just got.
That's what he did.
But some people just like to repeat it, and that's fine. But I was like, you know what? Okay, I'm done griping, and I said, yeah, I'm just going to start celebrating the EU.
Yeah,
and then
you're going to be
my Dawn of the Jedi review, which I bashed at the very beginning.
That's a shame, because I just read that book and I kind of liked it, and I saw your review and I was like, oh.
Well, we're going to get T-shirts that says Matt Wilkins destroyed my childhood, so you can purchase one of those at the gift
I'll
store.
buy one.
No, and here's the thing, Slav. I despise Tim Levin's form of writing. I do.
That's understandable.
I got his Firefly novel.
Mhm.
I knew it was Tim Levin. I said, you know what? I'm going to give him a second shot. Maybe he just wasn't good at Star Wars. I feel that he doesn't know how to write the IP for Star Wars, and he surely didn't know the IP for Firefly. That book felt off. It felt fake. It's weird for me to describe it, but he had the same writing style before, and it's just not my cup of tea. Now, to be fair, I don't like first person either most of the time.
I don't either, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I say that, but yet Frankenstein, Dracula, Dr. Jekyll, Mr.
A lot of
Hyde.
classics are in first person, yeah.
I don't mind those. Is that hypocritical? Probably. There's one fanfic that I enjoyed that was first person, but first person to me, and again, this is just me, it feels like I call them Dear Diaries, and anyone can write like that. And when you look at the old school Force.net fan fiction site or fanfiction.net, I think 90% of them were first person, because every little hack knows how to write first person.
Yeah,
true.
Yeah,
I was
going
gonna
to
say
Tim Levin's weird, because I've been to his website and he has just a bunch of his own material there, and I think it's obvious that he just uses big IPs as just a job. I don't think he has any passion for any of it.
Well, I don't. I agree with that. I don't think there is a passion there. It's just to get a paycheck.
Yeah.
Whereas, I'm sorry, but I'm going to pitch Kevin J. Anderson. I think he cares about the IP. He works inside of it, and he does a great job. I think Troy Denning does that. I know Michael Stackpole does it. I've heard from everyone. There are certain people who take that IP and they care about it,
right,
and they make it sound like James Hargrove from Firefly novels. He's fantastic. He should have wrote for Star Wars. He's a great author. And then I don't have my books with me, but whoever wrote the Spartacus books, they did a really good job. Spartacus is another show that I can never suggest people watch, but
that's the Stars one, right?
Yeah, was that Stars. Yeah, probably so.
Yeah,
because it's 300, which is great. Some great gladiator action. And then it's Skinemax late at night, like after midnight. Like, Alex is way too young. His tender eyes would bleed. And
no.
It's embarrassing, because I really can't suggest anyone watch it, because they're naked half the time.
Yeah.
And and that was back in the day when you wanted the young people to watch your show, but it was more than just Skinemax. They are talking, they are advancing the plot while they're naked.
It's a decent story too.
It is, but it's like, I ain't gonna watch this. I'm not gonna share this love with my kids. When am I gonna watch this again? Maybe never.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You didn't watch that with your kids? How dare you?
No, I would not. But I mean, Andy Whitman. Is it Whitman? It was an excellent Spartacus. Excellent. And
I love you talking about bashing Into the Void, man. It's so funny to me. I like, sometimes I would, like, a few days ago, I went to go rewatch your reread of that. It cracks me up, because it's just like, you're just like, you're like, oh, that's where we should throw that book Into the Void.
Well, reread is fun, because I get to go into detail of why I hate something. And honestly, I go into every book I do with optimistically going, maybe something's changed.
Right.
Because and some books have changed a little bit. I came down too hard on Red Harvest. I still don't care about the Sith kids getting killed, because they're evil. Who cares about them? But the book overall wasn't bad. It wasn't that bad. It didn't deserve it to be in my top 10 worst ever. There's and who knows? Maybe none of the Bantam novels will be on my top 10 because there's a lot of other novels that deserve to be up there. But and then but the best one was Knight Errant. I just refused to review it. I lost the review of it. That was back when I was moving, and somehow those files got deleted. I didn't want to reread it. I couldn't remember anything about it hardly. I just know that it sucked because Kara Holt is boring. She's so boring.
You don't think Kara Holt is the greatest character ever?
I think Waru should have swallowed Kara Holt. That. If I was to write an ending for her, it'd be that. Maybe she turns into Waru. That makes her interesting. Maybe she goes into the inner dimension and then somehow transforms into Waru and suddenly has a personality. A gelatinous, scaly cube has more personality than her.
Sheev, I've already read those, and they were great. I'm just kidding. He's talking about the TV show. I am hyped for it. That way I can hate on Filoni more.
Oh no. Is he doing one?
He's doing a TV show. It's called Tales of the Jedi. It has practically the same logo as the comic book, but it's an anthology series about Dooku and Ahsoka and their backstories.
Look at this guy.
I'm looking for some EU content. Keep talking.
I got plenty of it right here, Matt.
I got you.
Here, Matt, I have some great EU content right here.
Well, above what you're talking about, I guess so. But seriously, did you read? So I really love my review of this because some of that stuff I forgot. Like I
couldn't find it. I'm not a real fan.
Who's the Jedi Master? The one with the lip?
Barasafi?
No.
Luminara?
No, her Jedi Master.
Unduli.
I'm sorry, Unduli. Yeah.
Yeah.
When she goes, what if she's hurt? What if she fell in a hole and can't get out? And I'm like, wait, what? I didn't remember reading that. And that's exactly what if she fell in a hole and she can't get out? I'm like, what are you talking about? Or the time when she's walking with Obi-Wan, she's got to be the worst Jedi Master everywhere. And she goes, wait a minute. He knew his mother? And I'm like, where have you been? Where have you been for the past 10 plus years?
I got it.
Chosen one. You can't tell me you didn't know this.
Luminara Unduli, she was just smoking. She was smoking. She forgot it was hazy maybe. She
had one too many death sticks before that. Yeah, I agree. Because
that's so weird though, because the only sort of I haven't read The Approaching Storm. But
you should read it before bedtime. Seriously, read it and tell me how long it takes for you to finish. Because the thing was, I was really loving my going rereads, and then that was a hard one. The
Approaching Nap.
The approaching the naps here. Yeah. The approaching headache. The approaching migraine.
But yeah, I mean the only
approaching dump that I'm gonna have to take. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
The only sort of exposure to Unduli's character I've had is from Filoni's Clone Wars, and in that she seemed a lot wiser. So it's kind of weird how in this EU book she's she's displayed as this dumb.
I don't know.
From what I've been told, obviously.
I mean, she's just written as just ignorant, not like a stupid person. Like she just doesn't know about things or doesn't know. She doesn't talk to people. Maybe she's just all by herself and doesn't get out much.
She's just a shut-in.
That's how Barry should have written, though.
But
if anything, because she's she's young.
But what if she fell in a hole?
What if she fell in a hole?
I was like, wait, what? And I blame Alan Dean Foster. I don't think.
Well, yeah.
I reread Splinter of the Mind's Eye. It's okay. It definitely beats The Approaching Storm, but I don't know.
Which is not. That's a shame.
It's saying nothing.
Alan was smoking something when he was writing that.
I mean, but when you look back at Splinter of the Mind's Eye, it's got its good moments, but it's slow and plotting. And my brother, while I was reading books for our beach vacation last month, my brother bought the Aliens trilogy, 3-in-1 Heart, the paperback, all written by Alan Dean Foster. How does this guy get these jobs? Anyway. My brother was reading Alien. Alien is a slow-paced movie, so he was prepared for it. He said, but even the book was just unbearably slow. It was plotting. It was boring. It talked about things that just did not matter, did not add to the. It's like he was getting paid by the word and just needed to make up stuff. So my brother's like, I don't want this. Do you want to read this? And I was like, yeah, I do. Wait, does that say Alan Dean Foster?
And it's a shame because Alan Dean Foster seems like a cool guy, but
I'm happy that I got Splinter of the Mind's Eye. And if I saw him, I'd get Approaching Storm, signed. I say, can you say to Matt, hope this improves your bowel movements, Alan Dean Foster.
Sorry about the headache.
Sorry about the headache. Yeah. No, I mean, I'd meet him because I still think Grummet or whatever from Splinter of the Mind's Eye is a great villain. He's evil. He's a kind of a bully. He's a tough guy. But the moment Darth Vader enters the book, which is later, he's quivering, jelly. He's just like, yes.
Yeah.
And why isn't everyone like that? Darth Vader is an intimidating person. He's X amount tall. He's got this skull mask on. That would be scary. He can stop your heart by just closing his fist. I don't care how big and bad you are, but yet in the comic books, everyone, Vader, oh really? I wouldn't be so like that.
Is that Alex?
Matt, your son is here.
I see that. My little Calvinist.
He's a Calvinist?
Yes, you didn't know? You should have heard him last night.
I'm a Calvinist.
He made a very John Calvin-esque logical point there. He'll be picking up Charles Spurgeon.
Mm-hmm.
A.W.
I'm not too familiar with Calvinism. I should be more familiar with it because I study religion. So I don't know.
Okay, you study him.
I'm not religious, but I'm interested.
You're not religious, but you want to study John Calvin? That's interesting.
Yeah. Why not? I read the Bible.
You got some commentary. You read the Bible?
Yeah.
Good.
I used to be part of a. Okay, this is kind of personal. So I used to be part.
Well, it's religion, so yeah, I assume.
So I used to be part of a religious cult-esque thing called
Scientology.
No,
Mormonism.
Actually, no, Jehovah's Witnesses.
They're the same.
Same thing, basically.
Yeah, basically.
Do they get on bikes and go door to door, or they just go door to door and?
We knock door to door. We get out of cars. I remember.
You were a Jehovah's Witness.
Yes.
Wow.
So I remember, out of all the places where they had me do missionary work, I'm in the west side of Detroit. I'm going up in the middle of a door, and it's a drug raid going on by Michigan State Police. I'm like,
wow, that you were in the west side. I've been to Detroit.
Yeah.
The west side isn't the scenic side.
No. I was born on the west side, and I was at some house, and I was about to go, and we just see Michigan State Police about to ram the door in, and we ran straight to the car so quick, man. That was an interesting period. But no, I used to be a Jehovah's Witness.
Okay, I was gonna say, did you at least hand out a pamphlet to the squad coming in to bust them, the SWAT team? Oh no, okay.
No.
Okay.
No, Jehovah's Witnesses are a very interesting religion because every time I tell somebody, they just think I'm the door. They just hear door knockers, and you don't.
Do you get confused with Mormon? Do you guys get confused with the Mormons? No, I'm sorry, we already have a Book of Mormon.
No, we don't. Yeah, or sometimes me and the Mormons, we would meet sometimes.
Was it cordial? I always imagined that y'all carved up territory like gangs, like religious. Hey, I'm serving this street. You go on that side.
That's exactly how the Mormon would do it, though. The Mormon would be like, "You go to this house, we'll go to this house," and then it would be and then the other religion and the other Jehovah's Witness guy who's organizing, he'd be like, "What the hell? You don't tell us what to do, baby."
Wow, y'all carving up districts and everything. Tuesdays and Thursdays. This is our town.
Yeah.
Get on your side of the street. Wow, that's interesting. The only other thing I need to know is how those Gideons get so many Bibles in them hotels. What kind of deal do you have?
Yeah. But no, I got disenfranchised with the religion when I hit probably 8th or 9th grade, maybe.
Oh,
so
okay.
The only Bible worth reading is the Orange Catholic Bible, as Matt will tell you.
It's not. Alex.
No.
Wow.
It's Marcel.
This is a Scooby-Doo moment for me. It was old man Marcel the whole time.
Old man Marcel.
Oh,
I'm
man,
kidding.
Marcel.
That's what they always say. It's old man whatever.
Yeah.
And I almost
Filoni,
got
you're
away
missing your
with it.
hat,
It's
bro.
never a young person like
Never.
pulling off the crime.
You know what? It's that damn youth that ages.
No, the Orange Catholic Bible is a great one to get. You guys need to grab yourself one. Educate yourselves. And when you're reading it, walk without rhythm.
Have you read the Jehovah's Witnesses? They have their own translation called New World Translation. Oh my fucking god! It's a really bad translation. It's really bad. No,
Yeah.
it's like really bad. Like me and my mom talk about how I try to tell her how badly translated some of the stuff is. I'm like, you sure about this?
What translation do you carry now? Look out. Da-da-da.
Chris
Great.
Nelson?
Yeah,
Is
that's
Chris
true.
Nelson part of the Imperial advisory board or council or whatever?
Lance, what version of the Bible do you read?
I read the Douay Rheims version.
The what?
It's Douay Rheims. It's a Catholic Bible. It was translated
Okay.
in the early. Well,
Got
all
it.
Bibles were Catholic, for the
Right.
record.
Okay.
Including the orange
a
one.
reminder. But
The orange one.
it was translated in the early 1500s, I think,
Right.
something like that. It's older than the KJV, so just by 3 decades, I think, but it's still
Well,
older.
I like the new King James.
Boo.
That's not a bad version. I have that. I've read a little bit.
You
of
read
it.
this one?
I can't see it.
The New World Translation? The Jehovah's Witnesses?
Oh no, I don't read heretical Bibles.
yeah.
Jay, go knock on his door.
I don't do that anymore.
Evangelize to him. I know, but evangelize to him now. You may get through to him now that you're his friend.
I'm pretty sure you won't.
Jay, did you grow up in Detroit?
No, I grew up in Dearborn and Taylor.
All right, right on.
Mm.
Because I've been to Detroit before.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny because I tell the story. I won tickets for a free trip in the U.S. Oh, there it is. Yeah. I won tickets for a free trip in the U.S. And the travel agent says, "Where do you want to go?" I said, "Detroit." And she paused. She looked at me. She went, "Do you know someone in Detroit?" I went, "Yeah, I got a lot of friends in Detroit." She went, "Oh, good." Because I was going to say, there's no reason why you should go to Detroit.
Alex, what are you talking about, dude?
I can miss 3 dudes. I had a big booth.
Booth.
Oh,
I don't know. Are we talking about
Booths or boobs?
this? Isn't going to take. Oh, what is this? What is this, Alex? How did what went? See, I missed when we were talking about this. Anything relative to this, Alex? You have to remind me what spurred this moment.
Yeah.
Are you looking at Dark Empire covers again, Alex? I told you about this. Your mind goes into a different direction when you're looking at them covers, son.
Yeah, he meant booty.
Now he's gonna change it. Jay, you had it right.
It's YouTube.
Jay, bring that book over to Alex. Let him read it. He needs it. He needs
Alex, here you go.
it. Evangelize to him. Yeah, there you go.
I used to
The
be.
power of Christ commands you.
I used to have a little trick up my sleeve because I knew a little. I was young, so a lot of people were used to a bunch of old ass Jehovah's Witnesses just telling them shit. So they would see a young guy, and I would be well versed in their own religion, and they would be like, "Oh, you know about so and so," and then yeah.
I like the "I was young" comment.
Yeah.
You're still young.
Right, exactly. The beard. I say that a lot. I'd be like, yeah, when I was young, they'd be like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Right
Look
now.
at you.
Lance is wearing his Batman shirt. Batman Day isn't until Saturday, Lance.
Batman in Days every day,
That
Okay.
you damn right it is.
especially
There
if
you
it's the 1960s Batman.
Lance, do you want to come over this weekend and watch Batman Returns?
I'm
Read
good.
it with me.
You know what? Those are good.
I'll watch Batman and Robin.
Those are
with
my
you.
favorite. Batman,
Michelle?
the original Batman with Michael Keaton, Jack Nicholson.
Yeah,
Favorite Batman movie of all time.
come on, bring it.
I actually have the full box set, even
No,
with
it's-
your favorite Batman and Robin.
And it's not my favorite, but yeah. And then after it's over, I live like honestly a minute down the road from the Cinemark here. It's just around the corner here, so we could just hop over there, watch some Batman Forever, and then that's it. I can't do Batman and Robin again. I mean, maybe if you come.
You can't lie. You can't lie. Batman Forever and Batman and Robin is so goddamn fun.
The ice puns, they're great.
Dude.
No, Batman Forever is the only thing bad about Batman Forever, because I rewatched it a few years ago.
Mhm.
The only thing bad about it is Tommy Lee Jones' portrayal of Two-Face, but he was told to act like the Joker, to lighten it up, because the second one was so daggum dark, which I loved.
I love Batman Returns.
But I Val Kilmer does a good job.
Val Kilmer is
He does,
so
yeah.
underrated.
Yeah, and Jim Carrey as the Riddler wasn't annoying. I thought he was good.
I thought he was great.
Yeah.
I
And
thought
that's
Jim Carrey
the
did
things
good
I
with
forgot. And Ethan is right. Batman 66 is still the best movie out there. And Ethan, I was so upset when what was the last Christopher
The
Nolan
Batman.
film?
Oh, Dark Knight Rises.
Dark Knight Rises ripped off Batman 66 when it essentially said some days you just can't get rid of a bomb.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I thought about. I was like, come on, you're still in it. Adam West is still one of the best Batman ever out there, because who would expect that Bruce Wayne to be the Caped Crusader? No one.
No one.
No one. They said, man, this guy, there's no way he'd be the Caped Crusader. And that show is great too. It mocks itself. It mocks itself because it knew what it was.
Yeah.
It poked fun, and it's so great. In fact, the great Frank Gorshin,
As Riddler.
is a great Riddler. He is the one who created the derby suit for Riddler. He didn't want to walk around in tights the whole time, so he had them make him a suit and a bowler hat, and that's how the comic books got it.
Wow.
In
I
fact,
didn't know that.
the comic book at the time had killed off Alfred, but when the TV show came back, they had to bring him back in the comic book because he was so popular.
Exactly.
Hey Matt, I'm curious. Do you like the Brave the Bold cartoon?
No, I don't watch that one. I watch anything DCAU, and that's not part of it.
Me too.
Okay. It's pretty good though. It's
I've heard that. I've
I
heard
love
that.
Brave and the Bold.
My brother enjoyed Brave and Bold.
it's a love letter to the Silver Age of
Silver
DC.
Age comics. Yeah.
No, I understand that, and had a lot of great crossovers. My brother told me, but the DCAU, I avidly collect that, and I think it's, for the most part, they're great.
You getting the new Adventures of
I agree,
Batman?
man.
Say what?
The new
Well,
Adventures
I
of-
mean, I don't like the art style that changed. You're talking about season 4, technically.
Yeah.
Well, the comics. I mean, because they're making new
Oh,
comics
you
right
know
now.
what? I didn't get into the comic books, but they're written by Paul Dini and the rest of the gang, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dean
Yeah,
came
so they're
back.
probably solid.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
mean, I hate Superman, but that Superman animated series was really good.
You hate Superman.
Not a Superman fan.
Interesting.
I hate the
ever watch
DCEU
Smallville?
Superman.
Here's
You
the-
said what, Lance?
I hate the see what I don't like about Justice League in the DCEU is it's like if Superman's not there, then they're worthless. They can't do anything without Superman. I don't like that. I mean, you look at the MCU, you can take Thor out and they can still hold their own. But in the DCEU, they couldn't do anything
Yeah,
against.
well,
Superman
you're
without
you're talking about Snyderverse.
Well, yeah, but that
Garbage.
no, yeah, but that's why I don't like
Snyderverse.
him, because I hate that he's so powerful that it makes the what's the point of the Justice League then? You know?
I completely understand. I wasted so much of my life watching that Snyder cut. Marcel, what did you say?
Did you ever watch Smallville, Matt?
Oh, I did.
All 10 seasons?
Unfortunately, I loved it when Lex Luthor was the best thing about the show.
Yeah.
When he left, I sat there for 2 more seasons wondering what was wrong with me.
Yeah.
And then I stopped, but then I'm a completist. And I thought, well, you know what? I'll go ahead and watch the rest of the series. It was a headache.
Yeah. The last 3 seasons were very rough. Very rough.
But you know who else who was good, and they brought him back as like a ghost in the last season. But Jonathan Kent,
John Schneider was a great Jonathan Kent.
he was great, and when he left midway through the series, but man, when he came back, just those few scenes where Clark's talking to him, those were great. Those were great. John Schneider's excellent.
What's your favorite Superman portrayal, Matt?
Get out of here, Christopher Reeves, by far.
Yeah.
By far, I mean, honestly, and Jay, you like him too. Good. I'm glad you're cultured and have taste. I mean, you look at how he plays, because Superman is Superman. Clark Kent is his alter ego, not Clark Kent's alter ego is Superman. And so when he goes in to be Clark Kent, he's trying to act all goofy, and it looks like it's the glasses, man. Take the glasses off. Take the glasses on. It's stupid. But the way he works, and the best way you can see it, the best way. There's a lot of great scenes. In the first movie, the scene where he flies through the window, drops her off, flies away. One shot. It's one shot. They don't cut away because they were showing how fast they wanted to do a cutaway, but Christopher Reeves goes, "No, I can do this." They dressed him up really quick, and he knocked on the door. That's a one continuous shot. I don't know how they could have gotten that.
Wait, what? One?
When he drops off, go watch it. When he drops off Lois Lane, it's one shot. It follows Lois Lane where she hears the knock on the door and she walks to the door, and there he is. I mean, it's about 30 seconds, 40 seconds later. But the thing is, though, he did a quick change.
Yeah.
All in one shot. That's
He was
really
thespian right there.
he was excellent. The second movie may be the greatest of his acting ability.
I love the second one.
Where he's kind of slumpy. They're in that honeymoon suite at Niagara Falls. He's about to tell Lois who he is, and so he takes off his glasses, suddenly he is Superman wearing a suit. And then when Lois says something, he goes, "Oh yes, I don't know," and suddenly his shoulders slump. And he's back into Clark Kent. That is unbelievable acting.
Yeah.
That's unbelievable acting. And even though 3 is not the best, because they try to inject forced comedy in it with Richard Pryor. I'll be honest with you. One of the scariest things I ever saw as a kid was in Superman 3, when that girl's screaming and she's getting turned into a robot.
Yeah, that freaked me out too.
Oh, it gave me nightmares. I felt sick when I'd see her come out. It just terrified me. So it did have that. And to be honest, watching it now, it is a messed up scene. Because she's like screaming as it's like kicking it. I was like, ooh.
What about Superman 4 and Supergirl?
The quest for peace.
Superman 4, Christopher Reeves told John Cryer that this is a cash grab. This is not art. This is just a cash grab. And he said, this is not going to be celebrated. This is not going to be epic. This is not going to be remembered. He told him that. Christopher Reeves knew, but I think he was obligated to still.
Contract-wise, yeah.
Contract-wise, he was signed on. But he sold it. And there's a great scene where they walk into a hotel and someone pushing the luggage rack hits Clark Kent and he jumps on top. He's like, Lois, he gets pushed out the door. It's great. And then I think that's the other, it's either in 3 or 4, is there's a scene where he hangs up his coat and his hat falls off. He puts his hat up and his coat falls off. Puts his coat, that's vaudeville comedy there, and he does it beautifully. And there's some, and then of course Gene Hackman comes back. There's some good things to pick from. 4's terrible, but you can pick some good things. Supergirl. I just recently, like maybe 2 years ago, saw that movie. It's worse than what people say.
To be honest with you, my standards are really low. I watch bad movies as a pastime, so my standards are low. So if I watch Supergirl, I'm gonna think it's the best thing ever because I've seen some bad stuff. I've seen Shark Exorcist, Velocipaster. I've seen some bad stuff. I wonder how
you love Christmas Vacation too, then?
Oh man,
Christmas what?
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation 2, Eddie's. Island Getaway, I think is what it's called or something.
Christmas.
I don't think Jay knows what National Lampoons are.
No,
You don't know Clark Griswold?
you know Chevy Chase's Christmas Vacation, right? Classic.
I don't think he's seen it.
I
Okay.
do. I know what that is.
Matt, what are you showing me, man? What are you showing me?
Is it Eddie's Island, whatever?
Yeah.
I can't see.
It's too bright. Oh wait.
That's it. Okay. Watch it. Jay, it's the worst movie ever made.
I thought that was The Rise of Skywalker.
Oh.
I haven't seen Rise of Skywalker. But Jay, here's what we used to do.
Matt, you would love it.
We paid for it at Blockbuster.
You paid
And
for
we
that
were
shit?
upset. Well, it has Cousin Eddie in it, so it can't be that bad.
Mhm.
You know, what's his name? Randy Quaid's playing Cousin Eddie again. And I was like, yeah, it can't be this bad. And we watched, we're like, this is horrible. And so what we decided to do was, since we lost our money, we couldn't get it back. We played joke. We told everyone that Christmas Vacation 2 was better than the original. And then,
Oh, that's evil.
and they go, wait, what? I said, do you love Cousin Eddie? Oh, Cousin Eddie's hilarious. He said, dial it up times 10 because he's the star of the second one. And it's great. Really? Yeah, you should watch it. And then they turned to me going, that movie sucked. I said, yes. And now you know you're in on the joke. So try to help us convince so-and-so to watch it. We did.
Oh my word.
True story. But it's horrible. I don't know if I could. That's a lie. That's a lie. If my friends came into town over the holidays, I probably would ask if they wanted to watch it again.
Were you drinking while watching it?
Say what?
Were you drinking while watching?
No. It's horrible. It may drive you to drink. It'll
Hey,
definitely.
Matt,
Can you make a
There's
drinking?
one
Can you make a
movie-
drinking game out of it?
I don't know. I mean, whenever it's awful, it's awful. Whenever a joke falls flat, I don't know.
You'll be dead by the end of the movie.
You'll be dead. I mean, every minute, take a drink because it just sucks. I don't know.
I don't. People are gonna die then.
No, you watch it and then you can do your own review on it, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Because
Matt,
it's
there's
Speaking about
a
Christmas,
movie I don't
what
know if
about-
you know about. It has Tim Allen and Chevy Chase in it. I think Chevy Chase is in it. It's called Zoom. Have you ever heard of it?
yeah.
It's about superheroes, and it's kind of like it's one of those movies where you love it when you're a kid, and then many people hate it as they got older.
Gotcha.
But I still like it. I still think it's a good movie. I don't know. Have you ever seen it?
No, I know what you're talking about though.
Yeah. I don't know. It was a box office bomb. I mean, it made only like 12 million out of like a 70 million budget. But
Hold on, Jay. I
I don't
got
know.
another one for you that my friends made me watch because they really think it's good. My wife loved it, and I was like, "Are you serious?"
Uh-oh.
It's got the most insane. Let me make sure.
No, man. I seen zombie strippers. I seen Attack of the Killer Donuts. I seen some bad stuff, man.
Yeah, but
That's
have you ever seen a laundry machine kill something? Like one of those it's called it's based off of a Stephen King short story. It's called, I think, like The Mangler or something like that.
What?
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe y'all know this. There is a old horror series back in the 80s when there were horror series coming out all the time. This one went well under the radar, but it did get like 4 movies or whatnot. And then it had a reboot, but it brought the original person back. And it's something like Summer Camp, Slaughter Camp. I'm looking. I'm trying to find the name of it. I'll have to tell you that one because
Has anybody watched the Star Wars Holiday Special?
I have.
I have.
It's
Yeah. Long time ago.
I started
yeah,
it. I
needed
didn't
to
get
try
past the
more.
first 5 minutes.
So the animation sequence in the middle of it is actually pretty decent. I like that
Yeah.
part. But the rest of it,
You don't like the Star Whip? No.
you can keep that, friend. You can keep that.
Here we go. The
y'all know
Mangler.
this-
Wait, listen to this. The Mangler, 1995. A laundry folding machine has been possessed by a demon, causing it to develop homicidal tendencies. It's broken free of its moorings, which is the best part of this description.
Okay. Sleepaway Camp.
Sleepaway Camp. That sounds awful, man.
No. The twist is messed up.
Sleepaway Camp. Hold on.
Sleepaway Camp.
I'm about to
And
look
then,
this.
well, y'all just reminded me of something else that was really. I mean, now that he likes these kind of bad movies that are. I will watch direct to DVD sequels, even though they suck.
Wait, which one? Which Sleepaway movie? Because there's a franchise of them. Which one?
I know it's a franchise. It's the first one from 1983.
All right.
I mean, they made more, but
Sheev is here.
Is that really Sheev?
He's the biggest fan
Hello,
of Obi-Wan
hello.
Kenobi.
Biggest
Oh,
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Love
fan.
that show to death.
Oh yeah, I know.
I can't get enough Obi-Wan Kenobi show right there.
I seen your videos of you just loving it, man.
Yeah. I can't praise it enough, honestly.
Oh.
You gonna get a poster for your room?
Everyone. Of course I am, yeah. Has
Anybody want to use it?
has anyone here seen Sharknado?
Yeah. Isn't there like 5 of them now, though?
Oh god, yeah.
Have
I
y'all
think
seen
so.
y'all seen Mega Shark versus Crocosaurus?
Wait. That's the one where there's like 5 of them.
Alex, don't watch Sleepaway Camp. It'll give you nightmares for the wrong reasons.
Anyone here a Roger Corman fan?
Who?
Roger Corman.
He was a producer. He's produced like over 100 movies. They're all terrible. What he was known for doing is that there'd be a famous movie coming out, and then he would quickly rush together and make a movie to kind of
Canon movies. They
Yeah.
were flashy. They looked flashy. They could cut a big trailer, a good trailer, but they were basically just camp stuff and,
cash grab stuff.
second
yeah.
tier cash grab.
There was he made 4 after Road Warrior came out. The second Mad Max movie, and there's one that's really funny called Wheels of Fire. That's on Amazon Prime. You can watch.
Didn't he make the I can't remember what it's called. Sylvester Stallone is an diesel driving arm wrestling match champion.
I'm sure he probably did.
Oh, over the
No,
top.
I'm serious.
Over the top. Over the top.
Oh, you're thinking of
Over the top.
Yeah. I always wanted to be a milkshake.
Wow.
What?
That's one of his like famous lines from the movie because he's driving the car with his kid, the truck.
Leave it to the Canadian to know this movie inside and out.
And
Oh
he-
yeah.
He's like bouncing up and down in his rig, and he's looking over at his kid. He's like, "I always wanted to be a milkshake."
That's an awful line of dialogue.
I know.
A grown man wrote that.
That was canon movies. There's a lot of schlock there.
Have y'all seen?
Hey, what is y'all's favorite comedian?
Ooh.
Dave Chappelle.
I was
Amy
gonna say
Schumer?
Dave Chappelle.
Chappelle's up there. Yeah.
I would never forget the blind KKK guy.
Dave Chappelle, the late great Mitch Hebern
Oh yeah, he's great.
is good. Man, solid 100%. Because some people have good record. I mean, they have good, a good stand, but they're not good consistently.
I like George
Patrice
Carlin.
O'Neill.
Who?
George Carlin.
Oh, Jeff Dunham. Good call.
Oh, I love Jeff Dunham. That's my number 1 favorite, for sure.
I like a lot of comedians when they're in conversation. A lot of their stand-ups I actually don't like, but it's just probably a me thing.
I kind of agree there, yeah.
Yeah.
Patrice O'Neill, though, he was a very good comedian and conversationalist. I'll look up some of his. They're not podcasts. It was only radio back then, but you should hear some of his shows. They're on YouTube. He
I have
sadly
a que-
passed.
Is anybody Tyler Perry fans?
Oh, I love Tyler Perry.
Sorry, my
Oh
friend.
shit.
He doesn't translate well into Canadian, so.
I love the Medea movies.
I get so much shit because I'm supposed to like Tyler Perry because what black guy don't like Tyler Perry? I love shitting on his movie sometimes, man. No. I think Tyler Perry. I think he's. Excuse my French. I think the guy is fucking crazy sometimes. Like his scripts are insane sometimes. Like it will be a woman who's going through it with her relationship, and then towards the end of the movie, she's over here doing some massacre. Like we're watching a slasher. I'm like, how did we get to point A to point B, Tyler? I don't know.
It's crazy because it's like he's a good actor too. Like, have you seen him in Gone Girl?
Oh no, I didn't see him in Gone Girl.
He's
Gone
pretty
Girl.
good in that. It's like he's like a Adam Sandler. He has a lot of talent, but he's just done a lot of stupid stuff.
No, I think he's a really good. I think he's a really good entrepreneur, and but as a script writer, I think he falls really flat. Like there was one movie called A Fall from Grace. It was so bad that he had to go back and fix some of the scenes. Like there was a character in the background drinking a cup full of air, and he was drinking, and he was drinking it like he just had some refreshing. He was like, refreshing. You were drinking oxygen, and none of the producers cut that out the movie. None of them. And then he ate a fork with nothing on it. I'm like, who did? Why didn't nobody notice this? Why did they cut this from the movie? But I could rant about.
Did you hear about that in the Making of Kenobi documentary? Is that what we're talking about right now?
Don't get me started on that. No.
Steve,
I'm just
aren't
trying
you
to
making a
provoke
video
Sheev
about
into
that?
going.
You're trying to provoke me, and it won't work. I refuse.
Yeah.
No, I thought you were actually making a video about or maybe that was somebody else. I don't know.
About
But
the
there's one comedian I
documentary?
want to mention that I really like. It's Bill Engvall. I don't know if y'all have heard of Matt. May have heard of him because he's Southern. Have you ever heard of Bill Engvall?
Bill, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's hilarious. I don't know. Me and Matt, we're from the South. He's more of, he has a lot of I don't even remember where he's from. I know he's from the South. I think he's from Texas. He's from Galveston, so he's very relatable. But yeah. Anyway, Sheev, you need to make a video about the Kenobi documentary.
I will not, but I will probably use little snippets of it for part 2 of the Kenobi video.
Will you make a review on a Medea movie?
Maybe one day.
One day?
I like
All right.
Diary of a Mad Black Woman, so maybe.
That's a good one.
Medea's barely even in that one, though, which
I
is
know.
fine. It's a good movie, though.
Hey, Matt, Sheev has recently started pulling a Matt Wilkins, meaning he doesn't watch anything in the new canon anymore.
Oh yeah.
Well, he just recently.
Well, I just like to call it common sense, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Goku was my breaking point.
I'm not copying you or anything.
I'm there with you now, Sheev. I actually didn't watch
Good.
Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
I
Really?
knew what was coming. I just was like, I'm done. Not watching Andor either.
Yeah, no. Everyone's getting hyped for the 3-episode premiere of Andor, and I'm like, yeah, I don't care.
It's so
I keep forgetting
forgettable.
that show's coming
Matt,
out.
when did you decide to not watch any of the new stuff?
The moment
Was it
Disney
just like an
bought-
immediate thing when
bought the
Disney bought the
franchise?
franchise?
Yeah.
Okay.
He still hasn't seen.
Well, when they got rid of the EU, to be
Yeah.
exact, I was like, okay,
See,
well, if
you were about 10 years ahead of me there, but
it's okay. A lot of people are coming to that conclusion. A lot of people who decide. I mean, you gave it a fair shot. You hated it, and in my mind, you have every right to hate it. See, Sheev's a good example of this. Sheev wants to hate it because he tried. He really tried. It's garbage, and so he can rant and rave all he wants on it.
Exactly.
But then there's some people who are like, well, I hate it anyway, and here I want to do a review on how much I hate it. Well, you went in there knowing you were going to hate it. Plus, I don't know why you would do that. I understand. I don't know. I mean, I guess, but I wouldn't watch shows that I hate. Just stop watching.
I mean, I go
it.
into some shows expecting to hate them, but I'm either just like established it's correct, and I'm like, yeah, okay, or I'm pleasantly surprised, and House of
that's fine.
Dragon just came out. I've been really, really liking it. I was not expecting to.
House of the Dragon is surprisingly really, really good, man. It's really good.
How's Rings of Power?
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen that. I actually only just recently watched the Peter Jackson trilogy for the very first time. I finished Return of the King the other day.
Look at
yesterday
Matt.
even.
Matt.
So I'm not going to watch Rings of Power until I've forced myself to sit through the Hobbit trilogy, and then I'll watch Rings of Power.
Hey, I have a recommendation for you. You're gonna watch the Hobbit trilogy. if you want to skip all the bad
Matt,
stuff,
Matt,
just
you
watch
say
the
3
Bilbo
hours.
cut. That's it.
Okay, I might.
It's a fan edit. It's only 4 hours long, and it sticks mainly true to the book.
I'm too much of a completionist.
What's the safety word to get to make the pain stop?
Banana.
Banana.
No, bananas is when things go wrong. Oh, he got it.
Oh.
From one of my favorite movies. Banana.
No, I think it should be. Yeah, I don't know when I'm gonna watch Rings of Power. It's very controversial. I don't know when.
Oh, I'm gonna watch it. I mean, I'd be a fool not to like make a video about it when it's over. That's like guaranteed views right there. I'd be a fool not to.
I was gonna say, Sheev, are you gonna cover any more Star Wars stuff coming out, or you're just done?
I mean, I don't know how I could really if I'm not gonna watch any of the new stuff.
I get you. All right.
I'll do the Kenobi video. I've actually, for a very long time, been considering making a Rogue One video in the same kind of style where I go really in depth. Because I don't like that movie, and I never did, and everyone loved it when it came out, and I didn't get it, and I kept having to like explain my stance on it because, you know, it's the very unpopular one. And it's to the point now where like I've made those arguments so many times already, I may as well put it in video form. Just send them that instead.
Saves you energy.
I should have brought mine. Right now, I'm reading Sands of Dune though.
Dune stuff.
Yeah, I'm back into Dune. Well, they came out with the Dune book this summer, didn't say anything about it. So,
Is it good,
Really?
Matt?
I mean, I haven't read anything since yesterday because I was trying to work on this project, but I plan on picking it up this week and finishing it. So yeah, I mean, it's Dune. Except in the first 11 pages, it sucked me right in. You know, it's just tales from different eras of time during
Just like Into the Void and Approaching Storm, right?
Yeah. Approaching Storm is great. It's one of the best books ever written. So
friends don't let friends watch Rings of Power. So as a friend, I'm just telling you, there's other things for you to do with your time. You're still young.
Unfortunately, I'm too much of a completionist. I can't. I started Lord of the Rings and now I have to finish it.
I'm a completionist too, but the good thing is that Rings of Power is just elevated fan fiction. I mean, unless you want to say, is there anything worse than Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings? Then you can watch that. I'm sure it'll be worse. But you got to know when to stop. Like I did go into the first movie thinking this is going to be great, can't wait. And me and my buddy, who are big fans of the books, just kind of went, And the second one, we were like, what? And the third one, we were just laughing because it was just so far off from the novel at times. It was laughable. And of course, Hobbit was just a mess. Yeah. And not really Peter Jackson's fault, though. Didn't they tell him we want this to be a trilogy? And so he had to make up a ton of other junk that didn't happen.
Del Toro used to blame for that a lot.
I would actually love to ask your for your insight, I guess. Return of the King had a lot of things about it that I was not liking, and I would like to know how much of that was actually in the books.
I'll be honest. It's been. I mean, I watched Return of the King when it came out, so right. I can't remember. But it's the whole thing with the king, jumping off his tower and madness. Everything there near the end is basically they just made stuff up, and I don't know why. When the book it does it better. Read the books or get them. I mean, there are audio books out there. They're free. You can go to your library or I don't know. I mean, but I would definitely read the books. They're just fantastic. They're just great. Start with The Hobbit too.
That's on the docket. Because again, completionist. I started it. I'm going to get into all of it.
Yeah,
even
the
bad
stuff.
stuff.
Is not J.R.R. Tolkien. It's just it's from the mind of from the world of Tolkien or whatever.
The world of Tolkien.
Yeah, Wheel of Time. Amazon lost me at Wheel of Time. I'm sad that I watched 6 of the 8 episodes. I should have just stopped at the first 2 when my gut was telling me, don't do it, Matt.
You don't think that show is peak fiction?
That show is so bad that Brandon Sanderson, who wrote the last 3 novels, said that, well, maybe it's just the wheel turned and we're getting a different version of the book.
Oh, of course. Because he gets paid.
I mean,
Has to say that.
a cheap way to say it, but he was even saying, yeah, this is not anywhere near Robert Jordan's book. And I mean, it just got more and more. And I can't remember what it was about the 6th episode. I called my buddy. He goes, I know. I said, no, you don't know. I'm done. He went, come on, man. There's just 2 more episodes. I said, no. I said, can you stand for? I mean, I was just outraged. I said, this. He said, yeah, that made me mad too. That makes no sense. I said, this is just garbage. It's garbage.
You made it.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about because I never got to the 6th episode, but I'd actually rather you didn't tell me because, again, I was pissed off 20 minutes into the first episode and I turned it off.
Well,
Yeah, I
got
the
she made
first
hot
one.
bubbles.
Yeah.
What'd she do? Fart in the tub? It's so dumb.
Matt, what you said just a minute ago about what that author said, that reminded me of somebody asked John Jackson Miller on Twitter what he thought of Kenobi, and the only response he gave was like the most diplomatic non-answer you can possibly give. He said, "It was great seeing Ewan again," and that was it. That's all he said.
Well, he's also said on Twitter that he thinks his Kenobi novel fits perfectly with the Kenobi show.
Yeah.
So I
All right. Here's the deal with him and Stackpole. I know Stackpole said that too about Cornhorn and everything could be in there. Everything could fit. They're getting reprints of their books coming out. They want to harp it. They want people to pick up copies of it.
That's
So
true.
they're going to say stuff like that. And yeah, they can wish and dream that it's part of it. And maybe it doesn't contradict anything. That's more wishful thinking than anything. But if you're just trying to get on there and say, by the way, check out my book. It's part of the Essentials, Legends collection, which used to mean something before Dawn of the Jedi got announced as an upcoming novel.
Wait, is that going to be one of them? One of the reprinted ones? Is that going to be Dawn of the Jedi? I was not aware of this.
Yes.
It's not really.
I wonder what the new cover art looks like. I'd like to see what the new cover art looks like.
I don't know if the cover art has come out yet, but you can check out the website when it does.
Yeah.
Even though I did enjoy that book, I would never say to somebody it's essential reading for Star Wars. I would never say that.
I would tell people to avoid that their first time through. In fact, avoid Dawn of the Jedi completely, because that's another thing. I thought that John Ostrander's version was really good, but then when I reread it, I was like, oh wait, it's not.
Oh.
Yeah, but the people probably making this decision are, they look at the timeline and they're like, oh, look, it comes first. It's the first book in the EU chronologically, so it's essential, right? They're probably not giving much thought to it.
Oh no, they're definitely not.
I mean, I liked the comic. I just haven't read the book.
Matt, have you read has anyone read Eye of the World? Because I only read
Yeah, I've read the first 8 Wheel of Time books. I read one a year. It's like my thing. So
yeah, I'm currently
I couldn't get through like the first 2 episodes of that show. Once I saw like Perrin was married, and I saw that they had sort of veered too far from.
But the thing is that makes 0 sense.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about. That makes 0 sense. It distracts from Perrin's character.
Absolutely.
And even they didn't follow up with that story. There's nothing that adds to his. That they didn't go back to that. They didn't talk about it. It's basically just that's who Perrin is. Why do we have to feel bad for him? It's so dumb. There's so many. I don't want to get started on that. But Jay, to answer your question, I've read all the books twice, and I have Eye of the World autographed by the man himself.
Oh wow, Robert Jordan.
His last public appearance was at what's it called? San Diego Comic-Con 2005.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a picture with me and him. And he signed. He's very thin and frail. He didn't tell anyone that he was dying. Yeah. But I think shortly after he canceled the rest of it, and he kind of said, "Here's why." And he said he needs to focus on finishing his book, as that's what he was going to do. But but the books are good. There's books. I can't remember what numbers they are. I'll just say 8, 9, and 10, or 9, 10, and 11. Ooh, they're rough to get through. I think it's 8, 9, and 10, just because it just boils down to a slog.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, that's what happens when you get long book series.
Well, like nothing happens in those books, as I understand it. I've
well,
only read
it's
the first
horrible. But Brandon Sanderson comes back for the last 3 books, and it's excellent. It definitely picks it. And then I think Knife of Dreams is book 11. We're moving out of the slog and trying to reestablish a pace. And then he died, but Brandon Sanderson came back and really did a great job with it.
Matt,
Yeah.
have you read any?
I'm also reading. I'm reading George R. R. Martin's Fire and Blood as well.
Ooh.
This is pretty good. It's some of the stuff from House of the Dragon is from the book though.
Yeah, so I understand it. I actually haven't read that one.
No, it's basically a historical book, and it's basically telling you all about the kings and the stuff they did. The problem with the book is there's a bias. So you as the reader have to determine, is this bullshit? Did this leader actually do this, or is he biased as hell? You know,
Right. History is written by the victors and all of that.
Exactly.
I really like stuff like that when you're not sure if it's entirely clear if everything you're reading is accurate to what actually happened.
But what makes this one difficult is the maesters are usually against Targaryen kings, but he would write about kings so vividly and to the point where he's so in love with them. We'll be like, so do you like them or do you hate them? It's interesting. Real interesting.
What were you going to ask, Marcel?
Oh, I was going to ask if you read any other Brandon Sanderson.
No, everyone wants me to. I haven't made the time.
Yeah, I do a lot of fantasy. So, have you ever read any of Matthew Stover's other works, like his Acts of Cain? No. Okay.
I've heard good things too.
Yeah. Anyone who wants to read fantasy, I always plug Matt Stover's Acts of Cain. It's like 4 books, and I say it's probably the best fantasy I've ever read, and I've read more fantasy than most people. Yeah.
Well, I will definitely check that out because he wrote my 2 favorite Star Wars books ever, or at least that I've read. So,
let me guess.
Have you read Shredder yet, Chief?
What's that?
Have you read?
I've not gotten that far in New Jedi Order.
Is it Revenge of the Sith novelization and Shatterpoint maybe?
Shatterpoint. Yep.
Yeah.
Love Shatterpoint.
Oh, that's Matt's favorite.
Oh yeah, I know how Matt feels about it.
Hey, but I think I'm in the minority. I think that's another one that a lot of people loved.
Yeah.
What did you think of Shadows of Mindor? I'm in the middle of that one right now.
I enjoyed it when I first read it, but a lot of people didn't like it.
Yeah.
I haven't read Shadows of Mindor yet, but what I love about it is how it incorporates the Marvel comics. I love that kind of continuity. I mean, I just love it. I love when they incorporate the old stuff
Lord
like
Shadow
that.
Spawn, yeah.
Yeah, I just like AC Christmas Trilogy did the same thing.
I had no idea it was in the Marvel stuff.
Yeah,
that's cool. I'll have to check that stuff out.
Yeah,
there's scenes in the book that I do like. One where Luke is kind of he's sitting there and he's realizing, oh, that moment of where I thought I was going to ride off into the sunset and I thought my story was done, saving his dad and blowing up the second Death Star, what the rebels did. He's like, no, that's just the beginning of a very long and hard life. He comes to that, and then there's also a point where he just goes full nihilist for like a minute. I won't spoil where that is, but he snaps out of it. But
wow.
Character stuff like that.
Alex insists that Shadows of Mindor is good, and then says that Shatterpoint is a dud. And he also doesn't like the Bounty Hunter Wars trilogy, so we see how good his opinions are.
Why y'all
Matt,
Alex,
I think you've forgotten a lot of the Bounty Hunter Wars. I think you're really gonna enjoy it when you reread it.
Did I hate it in my review?
Well, you didn't say you hated it. You said it was just really mediocre.
Forgettable. I felt it was. It could have been better, but I can't wait to reread it.
I think you'll really enjoy it your second time through.
Dude, that leatherback hardback comes out this week of the Bounty Hunter Wars. I can't wait. You said it was good, She? What's your favorite one out of the 3?
I think Hard Merchandise probably.
Okay. Cool. Does it how much of it contradicts with Boba's backstory when it comes to the prequels? Does it really get into that, or does it just?
From what I
It doesn't really
recall,
go
the only
back
thing
to it.
the only thing about the Bounty Hunter Wars trilogy that like is a little bit in conflict with Boba's backstory is that it implies several times that Boba is much older than Bosk. Like he refers to Bosk sort of like, oh, young man, but it's like, well, I mean, no. According to the prequels and even the Clone Wars, like Bosk is very much like even a mentor to Boba in some instances.
Boss wasn't in the prequels, was he?
He was in the Clone Wars, though, is what I'm talking about.
Well, that's Filoni's Clone Wars.
Alex says in the comments, Boba has no character in those books. I would argue Boba has no character in any books until Legacy of the Force. So,
What about the Scholastic novels?
yeah,
It's
okay,
any-
fair. I
it's-
haven't read the Scholastic novels, so that might.
Those are good, man. Those are fun.
They're just hard to track
It's
down.
always,
They are.
it's always an interesting, I don't know, criticism people like to make when they say, oh, this character who is literally written specifically to be like a stoic, sort of ruthless character who doesn't give his emotions away, is badly written for having no character when that's literally the point.
Right.
I just think
That's
comics do Boba Fett better than books do, Sheev. Like, I'm not saying that like he has no character in any.
No, I
of
agree.
the-
Yeah.
And like even Django Fett, like Open Seasons is one of my favorite stories.
I love Open
I
Seasons.
love open seasons.
Yeah, I love open seasons. As far as the EU is concerned, I like Django a hell of a lot more than I like Boba.
Sheev is so jealous that I have.
He just
this.
has better stories.
Oh,
I am jealous because you got it for such a good price.
It was only
There's
$30, and I picked it up.
Sheev, there's a copy
Man.
somewhere I saw going for like 67. You can track that down on the internet.
Where I will literally go there in person and pick it up. I don't care if it's in Canada. I'm willing to step foot in Canada just to get it.
You're gonna go to
I can
Canada and
just
just
send you
rob it?
my trade paperback. I think I have it reprinted in like an omnibus or something. So
It may have been Amazon.
Yeah, I had to buy the Emissaries and Adversaries omnibus, which I mean isn't a bad deal because it's a lot more stories for a much cheaper price. But at the same time, I would like to just have the trade paperback by itself.
Mm-hmm.
Just like me.
Unfortunately, my trade version of what Lance has there.
Yeah, Lance.
I brought it to school, or no, it was summer camp, and some dude put his wet swim trunks on top of it, and it soiled it. Unfortunately,
oh, man, that's a sin.
yeah. Well,
I,
taught me that valuable lesson. Don't ever bring that stuff to summer camp or school.
Oh, see now, look what
I
you
have a
did
similar
today.
tragic
You
story.
laughed.
I didn't leave.
Oh, okay.
I-
You were just changing pants. You didn't want to do it on camera. I respect that.
That's what I've been doing this entire time. I've just been trying on different pants. So
That's all right. Usually,
Yeah,
I mean, that's
I don't knock it.
when I turn off my camera, I'm usually just in hitting mute. I'm usually just in the toilet. I just didn't want y'all to hear.
Oh, okay. I know what Alex does when he has his camera off.
Slav, I bought a copy of the Heart of the Jedi book when that was being released. I only bought one copy, and I only bought one copy, which I regret because it was like $15, and I could have sold each copy for like $200 for what they were going for.
Damn.
I wish I'd done that. But the one copy I got like rained on because there was a leak in the roof.
Oh no!
So
That's so lucky.
It's like resale value wise, it's worthless. It's a
I
good
have
book, though.
nightmares. I have nightmares about stuff like that. By the way, Matt, when's a reprint of that coming out? Like, I'd really like a copy that isn't too
Of what?
please, of Heart of the Jedi.
Matt's gonna say, "Ask Chris Nelson."
Yeah, it's Chris Nelson.
Okay.
Like the
I'll go ahead and say it. I was joking. I joke with Chris.
I was looking forward to that, man.
I know you were.
Hey Matt,
Chris texted me this morning and asked me what was going on because people have been texting about it.
Matt,
But I don't know. It just someone will eventually probably put it up.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can have my copy for $100.
Hello.
I'll think about that.
Cool.
You can have my copy when I'm dead and gone.
Wow.
I went to Matt's.
And I'm young.
hardbacks
Here,
that
hold
he
on.
gave away.
I'll show you my hardback copy. Hold on.
Yeah, let's see the goods. Let's see the goods.
Matt truly is above all of us. He has
the one above all.
I'm about to get the Dark Horse Omni of a long time ago, Volume 1 for my birthday here soon.
Oh, good job. I got those
Yeah.
as they were coming out, and they're so good.
Where's Shadow Spawn and all that stuff?
You know, actually, I think he's not in the Marvel he's in the Marvel comic.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, this is the first edition Lulu. If you were available on the first day it came out, because they took it down the second day, you were able to get copies. I don't know who all has copies. I do like the updated version because it has a better spine and I believe a better back cover than this one does. But of course, this is hardback, so you can't go. I mean, I'd rather have hardback.
You can't go wrong with hardback, man.
So
beautiful
I think paperback's for sale going for a lot. I can only imagine what the hardback would go for.
That's the thing, is that, you know, as great as the old EU material is, and especially, you know, without the Legends banner, those paperbacks, dude, whenever you read them, you're breaking your book. And I hate that. That's why you get those hardbacks, man. And that's why they're so expensive now.
Yeah, the paperback has like a bunch of Imperial walkers and Star Destroyers depicted on the back, which is way better than that bland landscape on yours.
When it comes
at least you guys got the book. I got the PDF.
I don't knock PDF. I mean,
at least it's out there.
At least
everybody can read it.
Matt, will you reread Heart of the Jedi for your reread?
Sure. Yeah, everyone keeps asking that. I'll do it.
Wait, so you're actually like rereading them?
Yeah.
I just thought that was the name of the series. Like you just remembered them and you.
No, I am rereading them. No, I'm rereading them right now. And I'm doing the video right afterwards. The reason they're coming out daily is because, well, first off, I can read pretty quick. I can read a hardback in probably 2 days. You know, but the thing is, I mean, if I'm reviewing a few short stories, I read those all in 1 day. You know, I mean, so I had a little bit of a head start, and plus it's fun to read. And on my paternity leave, that's what I got to do all day, every day. That's where I got my big jump, I feel like you got to read the Darth Bane trilogy, but then you also got to read like Approaching Storm and Cess's Deception and Into the Void. I know you were like.
Well, how do you choose which ones you reread? Because you're not doing all of them, are you?
Yeah, I am. I'm going through all the expanded universe. I'm going through my list that I already established, and I'm trying to read it in chronological order this time. And and so now I'm going to see what fits, what doesn't. You know,
I know you're rearranging stuff.
I am rearranging a few things on the list, and actually, I was talking to Caleb, who helps me out with the site, and we were going through getting rid of some doubles and some other stuff. Like he found something I didn't have in my collection. There was a Clone Wars free comic book. I have 2 of them, but there was another one that I'm missing. I mean, I got it. It was easy to get, but so I just read it actually yesterday and gave it to him to kind of throw in. It's a Clone Wars storyline, can fit anywhere. But I mean, it's been good because I also, and you'll see this when I get to the review, found another comic book I was missing. I don't have Empire, or did not have Empire number 27 because it was never collected in the Star Wars Empire trade paperbacks by Dark Horse. They skipped that issue.
That sometimes.
They skipped that issue.
Weird.
Why did they skip that issue?
Because it's Dark Horse. Like when they collected the Droids comic books, the first time I was going through it, I realized there were 4 issues that I didn't have because Dark Horse just failed to collect them in a trade.
Wait, you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
There's
man.
4
Really
issues.
weird. I wonder if Marvel corrected that.
It's like issues 8 through 12. The last few issues of the second run were never collected in a trade. And I mean, they were cheap to find, so I got them, and it's a dumb storyline. But at the same time, I was like, oh, I didn't know this. So I found, you know, so far for new EU stuff, I found 2 comic books. And what else? 2 comic books and a short story, you know. So that's fun. There's the expanded universe. Every time you think I have a perfect collection, something pops up that I don't have. That's fine.
Yeah. No,
Thankfully, it hasn't been anything impossible to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just stuff that's not worth as much. It seems like it looks like you got all the big stuff at least.
I have a question. Do you guys, when you guys go out into like, you guys go out in the world, do you guys see a lot of people reading books?
No, not really.
Yes.
Okay.
In my city,
Did you
yes.
say people reading EU books?
Books,
or
generally.
books in general.
People read.
There was this one kid that I saw at my school. I don't know his name and never talked to him, but he was reading an X-Wing book.
Base.
I think he was reading Wedge's Gamble.
That's base.
I just
So
finished.
that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I see
But
people.
outside
read
of that,
books.
I mean, I see people reading books, yeah, but I don't see them reading EU books
No,
or
Lance.
Star Wars books in general.
Lance, nobody reads that EU anymore. So man, nobody reads that.
I mean,
Kind of
those are a bunch of 30-year-old books that no one reads, no one cares about. It's all right if you just want to make your own stories and not take them into account because they're just a bunch of crappy books that no one likes.
Well, I like that when EU fans were getting upset about it at the very beginning, people goes, I don't know why you're so upset. It's not like they're taking away your books. They're never going to. Who said they're going to take away our books? And what kind of idiot do you think we are? They're coming for our books. What?
They're going to Fahrenheit 451 my bookshelf.
There's such a huge miscommunication between the fans and the expanded universe. Probably still today, they just don't understand. Like they think, oh, well, they want us to bring those expanded universe characters into the new canon. No, who's asking for that? No one. Oh, we're going to keep reprinting.
You would be surprised. I have seen people asking for that. They just don't actually They're just like not people who actually understand what the EU fandom wants. Yeah.
Yeah, and then like
there are people saying like, "Oh, they made Revan canon. Thank God Revan's canon. Woohoo!" It's like, but you didn't actually bring Revan over at all. You just took his name.
Yeah, Lance corrects them every single time. He says, "No, they just made his name canon."
Yeah.
Every single thread where someone mentions, Revan's canon, I just see like Lance has responded to it already.
It's almost like when you say Revan's canon, you're summoning Lance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Revan's canon.
And it's like and half the people who even say that they've never even played KOTOR. They've never read the Revan book. They've never played SWTOR. They've never done any of that. It's like Revan. Look, I love Revan. Don't get me wrong. But before I played KOTOR, to me, Revan was just some guy. Some Star Wars character. It's like, I don't know. I mean, look, I love Revan. I love his story. But I don't know why he just has this. I don't understand.
He has a cult following.
It's like cult following, yeah.
Yeah.
Because
people love the game.
You
He's
were
the Dave
Filoni.
Filoni of
You did become Revan.
I actually don't like Revan or care that much for him, but he looks pretty cool. So
I'm like, your entire avatar is based around him.
That's absolutely right, but I care more about
revenge.
I feel like if I said, I actually don't like Palpatine. He kind of sucks.
But the thing is, though,
I don't like Matt Wilkins. He kind of sucks.
Revanchism stands for more than Revan. Revan stands for more than Revan. He's always been a symbol more than like a character, right? He's someone that we can inject ourselves in when we play.
Oh, he's like the Joker.
Yeah, that they can inject them. Yeah, well, exactly. That we can inject ourselves in when we play that game. Like that's what
Joker
Revan is.
I just changing subject for a second. I did want to bring up a hot take that I might have here. And that my hot take is that. Well, it's more of a question, and that's, would you really want them to continue the EU? Because you see who's working at Lucasfilm now, and are you confident that those people can handle the IP, especially that part of the IP, properly?
I think if they bring back the old authors, or at least Kevin J. Anderson and whoever else, at least I think if they brought them back, if they asked, I know Stackpole would be willing to do more. If they asked him to do more X-Wing books or whatever else he wanted to do, and they just kind of left him to his own devices, I think we'd be good. I honestly think we would be. Now, if we bring in people like Justina Ireland and Daniel Jose Older, we're screwed. So,
yeah, that's
Daniel Jose Older didn't even know who
exactly
Older is. Yeah. He put on Twitter. He asked, I'm just genuine question. He puts on Twitter picture of Princess Hildur and says, "Is this Luke with like fuzzy hair?"
A mullet.
with like a mullet. Is that something like that?
Yeah,
You say
this,
yes.
this guy doesn't know.
This is an actual like man who writes Star Wars books within the continuity of the new canon.
Yeah, maybe if you had Leland Shee and he just was like, we'll get Kevin J. Anderson and a few others, and we'll go focus on this. And I guess it could work. It's just
See, I don't
that's a
even
big
trust
hit.
Sheen anymore. I don't trust
Right.
Sheen anymore.
You sold out that way.
I think
Yeah.
he's betrayed us to me. I don't trust him no more. I just
Well,
don't.
we
He's
can
like
always trust
Hidalgo to
Pablo
me.
Hidalgo.
Oh yeah.
That's
Everyone
my
loves
boy right
Pablo.
there.
Pablo Hidalgo is so annoying, man. God.
He was credited as a lore advisor for the Kenobi series.
No way.
Mhm.
No. No way.
I'm like, okay, so Pablo, have you seen the original trilogy, or did you just read the synopsis on Wikipedia?
I'm trying this new thing where I say something nice about someone every day that I don't like. And so Pablo Hidalgo did a really great job with the Essential Reader's Companion.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I
That's
actually
the
would like to
only
read
good
that.
thing
Yeah.
he's ever done for Star Wars. Is that Reader's Companion. Only good thing.
I have that. I got that when it came out.
Oh, I was gonna say because someone brought it up. Like, do you ever see anyone out like reading EU books? No, but while I was watching the Kenobi behind the scenes documentary, something I really did actually like, was Vivian Lyra Blair, who plays the little Leia in the show, was talking about how like she learned how to read through Star Wars books.
Oh, that's
Based.
cool.
That's cool.
And I just thought that was really neat. She was holding a copy of I think it was one of the Scholastic Boba Fett books as an example of one of the books she read as a kid to like learn how to read. And I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah.
But
Did you
anyway, I
say-
just wanted
did you
to
say which
bring
books?
that up.
Really?
Well, no, she was holding up a copy of one of the Boba Fett kid
Okay.
books. That's
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, like or you got people like Star Wars Theory who doesn't probably read nothing. Yeah, but he read it. He read it.
Big disappointment.
He just
Star Wars
reads.
Theory is I mean, he made a video about Jason Solo, but a couple of the pictures he used were freaking Ferris Olin. It wasn't even Jason. Like, I get they look similar, but Jason doesn't have white streaks in his hair like Ferris does.
He just did a Google search that popped up, and he thought it looked cool, and he didn't see he
Yeah.
didn't know the difference. I mean, it's
Mm-hmm.
you got these people. I mean, I appreciate them doing stuff like that, and that they don't know everything about it. All right, A for effort, but kind of wish you'd done a little bit more. And if you don't know, then get someone else to help you out.
Mhm.
But I
Yeah, I
appreciate
mean-
when they shed light on it. All the same.
Yeah.
He said,
I mean, I will say he's read the book, like a lot of the books. I will say that. I mean, he's read Kenobi. I know that for sure. But a lot of it, he just reads a Wikipedia article and then makes his video on it.
he
I don't know.
said
In
a live stream a while back that he would stop doing anything Disney canon. He'd stop covering all that if Kenobi was bad. And dude, it was pretty bad. But at the end, he somehow made the argument. He was like,
Well, didn't
"I like the ending."
he like
so
Kenobi? I thought he liked
likes the
Kenobi.
ending.
he cried during the end of it.
The ending,
Oh my god, did he actually?
Yes.
yeah.
I just feel like
Well,
if,
I
you,
mean,
that's
I
really
will
funny.
say,
if you have a platform that's that big, you have a responsibility not to spread misinformation. Like, do your research.
Well, I've never understood the idea. Like, I never go into a video if I'm making a video about something and I'm not 100% knowledgeable on it, then I research the parts that I don't know. I don't just go in half cocked and like say shit that I don't actually know anything about. I've never understood people who do that because it just makes them look like fools.
And that's why I'm a Sheath fan.
That doesn't gain you anything because anyone who actually knows what you're talking about will be like, "Hey, you're wrong," and then you're fucked because now everyone knows that you don't actually research your videos.
I'm gonna tell you why they do that. Because the people who don't know, they're gonna view him as, oh, he really knows his shit. He knows exactly what he's talking about. And I guess he gets gratification from that somehow. I don't know.
You mean you could get the exact same gratification from like spreading actual truth information?
Exactly.
So that's my sort of thing. It's like, yeah, I mean, yeah, you could get the normies who don't actually know that you're wrong to worship the ground you walk on, but you could also get them to do that anyway, and then also just not be wrong.
Star Wars, isn't Star Wars theory associated with geeks and gamers?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
He's done a live
Yeah, I
stream
know.
with him after the Pablo Hidalgo thing, but other than that, not really.
Oh, okay.
He
Yeah, I don't know if he necessarily is part of the fandom menace.
He's
and all
not.
that.
he's-
I wouldn't say he's
he's,
menaced, but he's friends with them.
Hmm.
I mean, I'll say that.
Oh yeah.
But he's not.
Yeah, I'm not
menaced.
a
I
big
wouldn't say
fan of
he's
not a big fan of geeks and gamers, to say the least.
I'm not. I hate geeks and gamers. Sorry.
Okay,
guys,
I,
whatever.
I-
But
all right,
I don't.
so-
I don't hate them. I don't hate anyone.
I don't
but-
sub to geeks and gamers.
Well, aren't you a fandom minister, Matt?
yeah.
Yes.
It's
According
confirmed.
according to a well-researched article, Matt Wilkins. You've probably never heard of Matt Wilkins, and then the article doesn't.
If it would have just said that, he'd have been 100% correct on everything. My brother's like, dude, I love Ethan Van Sciver. Why is he? They mentioned you and him in the same sentence. I went, I know.
That's so funny.
Yeah, but either way, I'm gonna hop off and let someone else jump on.
Yeah, me too.
All right.
If anyone else
All
wants to
Uh,
on.
fellas, always fun. Always fun. Thanks for having me
All right.
on,
good
Lance.
talking to you.
Thanks for spurning me on Batman weekend. Appreciate that. So, Jay, invitation's open. There you go.
All right. Thanks. See you, man.
Wow, that was very sarcastic. No. Okay. All right, y'all. Y'all have a- See y'all later.
Bye, Matt.
Bye, Matt.
See ya.
Oh, man.
I'm
Wow,
still
what
gonna
a
be.
Well, Alex.
guy.
I'm gonna jump off too, but I'll be in the comments still. So if anyone else wants to join,
All right.
All right,
All
bye,
right.
Filoni.
Just the four of us.
We can
We
make
can
it.
make it if we try. Just the
Just the
four
four
of us.
Just the four of us.
Going back to Star Wars theory for a second, he's very weird because he only considers what George did to be the true Star Wars, but yet
That's
he's
fucking.
out here watching
wild.
Disney and Filoni as if it's gospel.
He is like a Filoni cultist at his finest. Like I don't know. He seems to want like, you know, things like Mace Windu to come back after Revenge of the Sith and things like that. And it's like, man, if you really, really, really are like a fan of these stories, then how could you possibly want that? Is it just for the cool
Because-
factor?
And here's
Yeah.
the thing, I'm not a big Filoni hater. Like, it's going to be another hot take of mine. But that's the thing, too. Like, I don't worship him. Like,
I don't
think-
watch him either.
I don't think he's the best, you know.
No, I'm the
Yes.
same. I mean, I really, really like a lot of the stories he's told. I like Clone Wars and I like Rebels.
I like Rebels too. Yeah.
And I don't claim myself as a Filoni hater. People just consider me one because I made one video criticizing him for a thing that he does that I consider to be wrong.
And Filoni, we trust, man.
I'm a Filoni hater.
You're not allowed to criticize.
Rather
I mean, yeah,
than
Lance
proud.
is a Filoni hater.
Yeah,
I mean,
Lance is-
I'm proud of. I mean, I don't like Filoni. I mean, I don't care what people think of me.
He commented "fuck Dave Filoni" on one of my posts the other day, and just something about that just like made me laugh my ass off.
You just had the post had nothing to do with Dave Filoni, did it?
No, it was
No,
about
it
the sixth
did.
brother.
It was about
And I
Tales
just
of the
said that
Jedi.
just-
It was
It's because of how
Yeah.
blunt it is. I mean, just so fuck Dave.
Yeah,
Filoni,
no, fuck
so.
Dave.
No, that was. Why'd
To
you
be
do that?
fair, you can also separate like the creator of the art from the art itself. Like I
Well,
don't know
that's
if you've seen any
I
of
don't
Hitler's
care.
pieces, but they're actually pretty good. Some of them.
Oh, his
That
art.
doesn't make Hitler a great guy.
Yeah.
Somebody screen cap sheep saying that.
you know what's funny though, Sheev? People like I've
Edited to
seen
where I
artists
said Hitler
actually
is a great
analyze.
guy.
Yeah.
I've seen artists analyze his stuff, and they actually say it's actually not good. Like there's a lot of mistakes in it.
Ooh.
I mean,
Like-
probably
like,
right. I don't know.
I mean, he wasn't accepted to art school for a reason.
Ooh.
So
That's
why he
probably right. I'm not the guy to like objectively judge like painted art, but I don't know. I've seen a couple of the pieces that he's done, and I'm like, I like that.
Better than what I can do.
It's kind of. I mean, I draw like stick figures. I can't draw.
well,
I've been
there's
hearing-
back
I'm
to.
sorry,
I'm gonna say one more thing about theory, then we can
Oh,
forget
God.
Star Wars theory. But he did a
Alright.
live stream a while back where he played Jedi Outcast, And within the first 10 freaking minutes, the first thing he says is, "I wish this was in the sequels."
Wait, what?
Like,
What is he talking
like-
about?
he played Star Wars Theory. He on a live stream
Exactly,
he played Jedi
Marcel.
Outcast with Kyle Katarn.
No, yeah, I know the game, but like, what the fuck is he talking about?
Yeah,
I wish this was in the sequels.
it's like, I mean, can you not enjoy the game as is? Is that all you think about? Oh, which is in the sequels.
That's me reading the Legacy comics, and I'm like, this is Darth Talon character. She could team up with Darth Maul. That's definitely not a racially
Yeah, they could
motivated
have- they-
process,
and-
and then they could be the main villains.
At least we can say that's the one great thing that didn't happen with George selling the company. It's like, at least we didn't get that.
Well, that's a couple things. Like, people hate on Disney, and I mean, they have reason to, but
Max, how dare you call
However-
it though?
I don't believe that George Lucas's sequel trilogy would have been good at all. Just from
Yeah,
what
so
I've
I
been
guess
like
it's-
what I've
If
heard
we
about
were
it.
to take the sequel trilogies of Rian Johnson, J.J. Abrams, and Lucas would have been the worst, and I will die on that hill.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
May-
I mean,
well,
it would have.
ugh.
Well, it depends on which one you're talking
Maybe.
about.
He
Apparently,
was
he
going
has
to do the same thing with Luke that Ryan did, essentially, from what I
Well,
heard.
the other thing is that like at least Disney like wiped away the EU so that they they could make a bunch of films that don't affect it at all. George wouldn't have done that. He would have just made a bunch of sequels. He would have cherry picked things from the post Return of the Jedi era EU that he thinks are neat, and then he would have changed everything else, and then that would have all been ostensibly supposed to fit within the EU timeline, and it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, and then
So,
people
say
are
what you will.
people are gonna still say that George Lucas raped their childhood.
He did.
I mean, if they're as bad as they've been described, his hypothetical sequels, then I would have probably been pretty mad watching those movies.
Saying a guy raped your childhood is just
I wouldn't say that, although that is a very catchy song.
that's
Dave
so
Filoni
hyper-
raped
Catchy,
my
stupid
childhood.
song.
It's so
It's a catchy,
hyperbolic.
stupid song.
Have you seen that documentary about the people versus George Lucas? Every single
I've
person
seen
there
it.
complaining about the prequels, and they literally act like man-child. It's ridiculous.
Man, children.
Children.
I mean, yeah,
yes.
if you make a song where the chorus is George Lucas raped my childhood over and over again,
Yeah.
then yeah, it's safe to call yourself a man-child. I don't know.
Yeah, you're being fucking. That's just being fucking obnoxious.
Star Wars
Yeah.
is horrible because it's not how I would have made Star Wars, and I know better than the creator of Star Wars.
Yeah, I feel
Well,
like
the thing
every
is-
Star Wars fan, if a Star Wars fan would have made a Star Wars movie, I'm sure the fans will fucking hate it.
Oh God, there are so many. Like I've heard so many fan pitches for Star Wars movies, and I'm like, I'm kind of glad we got the Rise of Skywalker now. Like that would have proven that.
What I
But no,
would do,
the thing is, like I consider the prequels to be really bad movies, or at least the first two. The Revenge of the Sith is just like it's pretty good.
It's a mid.
But no, they're bad. But the problem is that like most of the popular opinions that people like to say and then echo chamber on aren't good takes. They're really, really just wrong takes. So like.
Mhm.
So
I
like you
don't-
get people defending the prequels, and the only arguments they're fighting against are those really terrible ones
Yeah.
that are obviously stupid.
I think they're
So-
very flawed, but they're not the worst. And I think
No.
because the story that's trying to be told is actually good, it's just that the execution is its biggest blunder. I think I
yeah.
could say it's a series that could have been phenomenal if it had a better
And-
director.
and believe it or
But
not,
I've
we
seen
actually
way
get-
worse than the
we
prequels.
get
so I
insight.
Oh
can't say they're the
God,
worst.
yes.
we get insight into what George was trying to do. And believe it or not, we get it from Dave in that interview from, I think, a year or two ago where he talks about Duel of the Fates.
Mhm.
Oh,
That's
yeah?
really good. That's like, if that's what George was going for, that's cool. It's just he didn't execute it right. But
Right.
it's
I was-
just,
There was heart in the prequels. It's
Yeah,
like
that's-
it's into the
Well-
void with the sequels.
Yeah, like I would say that like the backbone of Anakin's entire transition into Vader is built upon his relationship with Padme, and I don't think it's very well executed in any of the three movies. In the first one, it was sort of like he has a cute little crush on a girl that's way older than him and is way out of his
4
league
years.
and is also a queen.
4
And
years
then-
old, so yeah.
Yeah. and then in the second one, out of nowhere, after like being kind of a creep the entire time, she's like, I'm kind of into him, and then they get married. Like they just rush into a marriage, and then in the third one, they just are like really toxic toward, especially Anakin is like pretty toxic about just everything, and that's fleshed out even more in the Clone Wars show. And it's like, I mean, I know you want me to believe that he loves her, but I really think he's just horny.
I think I just think he's very possessive, and he doesn't know how to. He doesn't know how to be in a loving, equal relationship. He cares, but it's self. That's the point. That's the difference. Especially, I mean, I know we can't really use the EU when talking about the movies, but taking in the EU into account, you see the difference with what Luke does with his new Jedi Order. And you see it's clear that relationships aren't the problem. It's how you go about it. Because like Luke's still afraid to lose people, just like Anakin was, but he's not allowing that to control his every facet of decisions. Because when Anakin fears for Padme, he's not really concerned about her loss of life per se. He's how I'm gonna feel empty if she's gone. It's all about him.
Yes.
And
also because the
that's
Jedi,
what they're going for.
From his perspective, the Jedi reprimand him basically anytime he experiences any natural human emotions. So he's been taught to suppress them, and that makes it to where like whenever they do come up, they come up with a vengeance, with a passion. It's not just a crush. It's not just, oh, I like you. It's like, this is the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life, and like all these emotions are coming up at once. So I'm gonna be kind of creepy, kind of simpy. I fully believe everything that they do with Anakin in those movies, as far as the way he composes himself and conducts himself when trying to court her. The problem I mostly have is that like Padme's into it. It's like, oh god, no.
To be fair, I would make the counter argument that she is 14 she's supposed to be 14 in the first movie, so clearly she hasn't had much of a childhood. And she even says in episode 2 something about not really having time for relationships or anything. There was something she had for like a week and then it ended. She never had time to actually have that sort of teenage romantic relationship. So she's basically been just as stunted as Anakin has to an extent, except that she's just been stuck in politics all of her life. So now she has this kid who, she wasn't interested in him in episode 1 because to her, he was just a kid. But by episode 2, they're both consenting adults, and Hayden Christensen, attractive dude. So she's like, man, when she says we shouldn't do this, I don't think it's her actually like not liking his advances. It's just that she knows she has responsibilities and she shouldn't, but inside she completely wants to. That's why she dresses the way she does in her own home. She's not doing that just because it's comfortable. That leathery outfit does not look comfortable.
Yes. No, I
She's
agree
doing
with
it
that.
to make him. Yeah.
I agree with that, but what I'm saying is that like I don't really believe that she should want him. Like what you're arguing is but she clearly wants him, and I'm like, but why? Yeah. I know she.
I would say because she has
a traditional childhood. I know she didn't have a traditional childhood. But she's also Natalie Portman and is really hot, and she has options. And also, even if you weren't raised like traditionally,
that is.
Even if you weren't raised traditionally, if some dude is giving you like creepy "I want you" eyes and making really, really weird passes at you the entire time, like not only are you like trying to get a fucking restraining order filed on him and get a different guy protecting you, but also like especially after he rants about like all the women and children he
and not just
like mercilessly slaughtered, and he's whining and he's throwing a little tantrum, and it's like, how are you attracted to that? I know he's Hayden Christensen, but how are you attracted to that?
I mean, like I'll say though, I agree with you, because again, it all comes down to execution, and I think what he was going for, what George Lucas was going for, is fine. It's just that it's not shown in the best way. But I don't have a problem with the idea, I guess, and I still like the overall story of it. But I agree that how it comes about is wonky. I guess
the reason that the prequels are astronomically better than the sequels is that, like, while the execution may be poor, you can look at the synopsis of the story as a whole. You can look at it as a whole, in the broad strokes, and you'd be like, yeah, okay, I see what you were doing there. It's pretty good. It makes sense. You can't do that with the sequels because you try to look at the big picture. You know, you zoom out of the details and just look at what it's trying to be, and it's like it doesn't know. It's this confused mess that's it's zigzagging every which way, contradicting itself left and right, has no like thematic through lines. The characters are either just completely fall flat or never had anything to begin with. And it's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know what you want me to make of this. Of course these are worse movies.
Yeah.
Not only are they terribly executed, but they like don't even have a clear vision like the prequels do.
Right, because they had one vision, George Lucas's vision. Sequels had two people fighting about what the franchise should be.
Well, I don't like Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers, but he described the sequels perfectly. It's a pissing contest between JJ and Ryan. That is exactly what it is.
Yeah.
And JJ
I always likened it more to like a tug of war, really, but a pissing contest is honestly better. Maybe they were pissing like at each other while fighting over the rope.
Maybe they were pissing Kathleen Kennedy's mouth. See which one got.
So who else is ready for Knives Out 2?
Sorry, what?
Who else is ready for Knives Out 2?
No.
I haven't even seen the first one yet. So.
Don't waste your time.
Oh, really? I've heard my friends say good things about it, but I heard it was Rian Johnson, and I simply had no interest. I mean, I know he wrote like a good episode in Breaking Bad or whatever, and that's cool, but like...
He never wrote any episodes of Breaking Bad.
Oh, I heard that from a YouTube video, which is a bad source information, but...
Oh, you saw a video on the internet. Well, that clears everything up.
No. I'm saying like...
I'm kidding. I'm quoting The Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah. I was saying like because I had saw that and I was like I was willing to accept it because I was like whatever, but I didn't look too much into it because I didn't care. But
Max, come on, don't remind me of the fucking dagger. I don't want to think about the dagger right now, please.
It just magically lines up.
Oh.
Looper is good.
I mean,
Looper.
Who thought that would have been a good idea?
JJ.
I do like
Looper has some kind of fucky time travel logic, but otherwise I like it a lot.
But that's almost every single time travel thing because time travel isn't real and wouldn't work in real life with what we know.
Yeah,
about.
you can basically never write a time travel story that doesn't fall apart in some aspect because it's just.
I mean, even Back to the Future does, but it's just so much fun that you kind of don't care.
Yeah,
but that one still. Yeah, so you just ignore the worst problems.
I think the worst trope a story can use is time travel. I hate time travel.
That's why the EU only goes to the future, never the past.
In my opinion.
Hey Lance, unrelated question. What do you think of Avengers Endgame?
I mean, I just said I hate time travel, so there you go. I mean,
you know what's funny?
And let me see, and I think Endgame is special because. See, if what I hate about
flow walking isn't actually time travel. Sorry, Marcel said something. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
What about flow walking?
Flow walking is a thing you'll get to if you get to Legacy of the Force. It's an ability that Jason has because he goes after the new Jedi Order. He goes off on his own.
He has like a vision of the future, right? That's what I understand.
Well, that's one thing, but visions are different. He goes on a 5-year journey and discovers things about the Force and not even Luke Skywalker knows. So he comes back and he's different in Dark Nest. And by Legacy of the Force, he learned that he has this ability called
no spoilers.
It's
Alex. Sorry. No one cares.
Okay.
Also, time travel literally exists in the EU, so I mean,
there's time travel to the future, but there's no time travel to the past. Like, there's people from like the Tales of the Jedi era.
Yeah, from the Great Sith War, they get sent to the future to 41 ABY. I can't wait.
Yeah, with Jade and Core. They're interesting. They're not bad, but they're weird. I'll say.
I would very much like to judge that for myself, but I have a lot of books to get through first.
Yes.
Yeah, me too, man.
After Legacy of the Force, so.
I will be right back. Just gonna turn off my
The
mic.
funny thing about Avengers Endgame, when I first watched it, I watched it late as night. It was late as fuck, right? So it was like me and my family. So I watched like the first 1/3, and then it was like probably like 1 in the morning. So we started doing a wonky ass time travel time heist. I fell asleep, and then when I woke up in the middle of the movie, it was like a whole bunch of scenes right before the final epic battle. And then I saw the final epic battle. I teared up when Tony died, and yeah. So the time travel stuff was wonky as hell, I think.
Well, see, what I don't like about Endgame is Thanos, because the Thanos they kill in the end, he didn't even wipe out half the universe. So it didn't feel like it was justice. It felt like it was. If Tony had sacrificed himself to kill the same Thanos that wiped out half the universe, it would have been so much better, and it would have felt so much more real. But I remember, I mean, I just saw Endgame last year. That's how late I am to the party. But when I saw the first 20, 30 minutes of it, where they kill Thanos and the stones are destroyed, I'm like, oh my gosh, where are they going with this? And then I see time travel. I'm like, oh my lord. And then I'm sitting here like, is this the movie that people are freaking out about? Like, this is the great. People act like this is the greatest Avengers movie. I mean, in my mind, it's the worst Avengers movie. It's probably the worst of Phase 4. I mean, it's a Phase 4, Phase 3, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you're probably gonna ask, well, how else could they have ended it, or how else could they have gotten the stones back? It's like, why did they have to destroy the stones though? Why did the original Thanos have to die?
Yeah, I believe fundamentally that they should not have done time travel in Endgame at all.
Yeah, it's such a cheap, just dumb trope. That's like, it's so outdated. I mean, I think that's the best way to describe time travel. Because I mean, I guess back in the day, I guess it was not a big deal, but it's been used so many. I mean, it's such a cheap thing. And someone brought up that there's time travel in the EU. I mean, it's not as prevalent in the EU as like in a couple of comics, but even then, it's not good. And that's where I hate the world between worlds. Like, I get it's a certain form of time travel where if you go back in time, it'll change the future. So I mean, there is consequences. That's kind of like restricted time travel, but time travel is still time travel to me. Like, the only reason why Ahsoka lived is because of time travel. So I just hate it. I hate the world between worlds. I hate time travel. I think it's so stupid. I just hate it.
Right. So I think the thing about time travel in Star Wars that I like I think if you're gonna do time travel, you pretty much have to do it with these rules. Is it's sort of like a closed loop. Like, you could go back in time and interact with the events, but like that always happened. You always went back in time. You always did those things.
Yeah.
So you're not actually changing anything. You are literally just doing what is designed by the universe to have happened.
And that's kind of like what the world between worlds is, but still, though, it's like
Ahsoka
I
always
guess
was
the best
pulled
form
out
of it.
Another thing
That's
too
the
is
best form of time travel, but I still hate it.
I was just gonna say,
but yeah, like because people like to think people had that theory going that they were gonna retcon it to where the sequels are no longer canon, and the way they were gonna do that was by using the world between worlds, and they had this whole theory, which is actually a really cool theory to think about. But the problem is that you can't change events, which is what that theory is contingent on. You can't change the events and how they play out. You simply cause them. Ahsoka was always pulled by Ezra out of danger from Darth Vader. That always happened. It isn't that Ezra changed her fate. Like, that always happened.
And
right,
you know,
say,
if you think the sequels, if you think the sequels are going to decanonize, don't hold your breath. The only time those things will get decanonized is if the entire new canon gets decanonized, which I do actually think will happen. I think it'll be decades from now, but I do think eventually the new canon will be rebooted. I do think that's inevitable.
Are you guys familiar with the theory that I was referring to just now?
Yeah,
I also watched Doomcock.
It was
It's Doomcock who did that.
What's his name? Doomcock wasn't that idiot the one who started
He's
He
probably
was.
one of the people. He might have started it. I don't know who started it. The video that I had it explained to me was from what was his name? Dash Star. He's
moron?
changed it now. He's changed his name now. I used
think
to
it's
watch
like
his
Lore
videos a lot.
Star or something
Lore
like that.
Star now.
He's an idiot.
The basics of the theory for any of you who aren't aware, it's called the Filoniverse theory. By the way, I love that. The basics of the theory is that in the original timeline in which the sequels take place, Luke never showed up at the end of Mando season 2 to take Grogu into the Jedi Order. So in that timeline, the sequels happen, but that is also a timeline where Ahsoka has died on Malachor, and that by saving her, like Ezra did in season 4, he changed the timeline to where Ahsoka lives. Mando runs into her, who directs him to Tython, where Grogu contacts Luke through the Seeing Stone, and that's why Luke shows up to take Gideon or to take Grogu and saves Mando and crew from Moff Gideon. And now the timeline is different. Ahsoka's alive. The sequels are no longer canon. That's the Filoniverse theory, everyone.
I didn't know that it was that in depth.
Don't you love it?
Sounds like everything I've ever wanted.
I see nobody likes the Filoniverse theory. That's fine. I don't like it either.
No
It's
one
better
likes
than this. I think it might be better than the sequel trilogy.
giving Filoni
That's not
his
gonna
own
happen.
universe. I mean, how big could you feel his ego if he had his own universe?
Jesus.
It's a
I
religious
mean,
experience.
every show would be a religious experience then. What's wrong with that,
Ahsoka
Lance?
would be the main character.
Oh, because she already is. Come on.
Well, that's true. Hell,
She
she's
was
had
always the
freaking
main
screen
character.
time than Luke.
We
So.
just didn't know it.
And
She was in
Anakin.
every scene of Revenge of the Sith. You just didn't know it.
She was in the background.
She was
just
at
pulling all the
Padme's
strings.
funeral. She was in
Yeah.
the hologram message right after Anakin left.
She was at my
It's good
birth.
stuff, guys.
She was
So
at my
glad
birth.
we did that.
She was in Filoni's basement
Oh no.
in his
Oh
pants.
gosh. Oh,
Where'd everyone else go? Why are you and I the only ones talking?
Oh,
Martina,
you guys kept
I
going,
had to,
so
I
I
had
just.
to go do my clothes. My bad.
Hey, Sheev, did you see my comments in the private chat?
All right, guys. I have to end the stream. I kept it a lot later than I wanted it, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, I have school tomorrow. It's almost 1 a.m. This night's gonna be terrible, but anyway, thank y'all for everyone who joined. Matt's not here, but thanks for joining. Marcel, thanks for joining. Everybody else in stream chat, thanks for joining. Alex, we don't care that you joined.
Yeah, fuck you, Alex.
Anyway, y'all have a great night.
All right. See you guys, man. It's been great.
Bye.
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 Bye.